As I begin recording, your descent into the nightmare tree was slow and suffocating. The roots thickened, the air grew hot and stale, and the tunnels pulsed with this unnatural heartbeat, as though the tree itself were alive and watching. Rita, strange but resolute, used her druidic magic to part the magically sealed pathways. Each spell pulled at her essence, and with each step deeper, a voice began seeping into your minds. Nizara's whispers came like poison lullabies, disembodied and strangely maternal. She didn't speak to you, but to the growing corruption she'd nurtured. She spoke of Briar as a failed daughter, of you, as this, whatever this heart was, as her true heir, and promised a world reborn, or at least the jungles reborn in thorns and hunger. The wilds were not to be protected, they were to be consumed, and through her and through this heart. And when you reached the chamber, that promise stood before you in full bloom. At its centre, a pulsating heart of the nightmare tree, swollen with magic, wrapped in gnarled roots. Suspended above it floated Nizara, this mummified figure wrapped in decayed regalia, her hollow eye sockets glowing with violet fire, her voice gentle, her threat, however, absolute. She welcomed you, but offered the final chance to flee, and you promptly refused. Nizara struck immediately, slowing much of the party with a curse, only for Sayun to dispel it with a razor-sharp precision. Bramble husks surged up around the chamber with a shadowy duplicate of Liska emerging from the root system, perfectly mimicking her strength and tactics. And from above, Vellum spotted the ritual's engine, magic items embedded in the roots, leaking energy. Some were familiar, could have sort of stolen from allies, and presumably other fallen druids or stolen from elsewhere. Vellum ripped one of them free, jammed infused obsidian into the wound, disrupting the ritual, at least partially. The heart screamed, roots writhed, the chamber trembled. Liska battled with her twin in brutal melee. In a moment of defiant recklessness, she tackled her duplicate off the edge, both impaled on jagged thorn-like roots below. It was then that the fight shifted focus. Rita, recognising the heart's vulnerability, summoned a large wall of fire around it. Not once, which Nizara dispelled the first one, but twice, searing the roots, scorching the ritual, this ritual node. The heat was intense, the damage profound, the flames disrupting that flow of magic and searing through the roots like nature's righteous fury. The heart pulsed, erratically wounded. Meanwhile, Dejar worked on dismantling the ritual, removing some artifacts, with Vellum attempting to drive in more obsidian, but Nizara noticed. She turned back with a beam of necrotic force, knocking Dejar unconscious. Only Rita's swift healing word saved her from death. And high above, Etheria knew the magic suppressing collar. Etheria threw the magic suppressing collar around Nizara's neck, cutting off her spells, but she roared, shattered it through raw maternal strength, fury deepening, and from the far side, Valdmir wrenched free a sacred druidic staff, weakening another anchor point. Nizara retaliated immediately, conjuring a shadowborn version of Valdmir, which struck her down in a single horrifying moment. Then Nizara's gaze turned to you, Vellum, and you were banished, lost from the battlefield. And as the ritual approached its peak, Dejar launched a final desperate play, hurling a pouch of 11 fireball bees directly into the heart, and the resulting explosion was apocalyptic. The chamber lit up in flame, roots peeled back, the heart howled, bramble husks disintegrated. Nazara screamed, her tether unravelling. But a vengeance came swiftly. In one draconic word, the word die, power word kill, Dajar dropped lifeless. The rest of you, fractured, bloodied, launched a last desperate offensive. Sayun struck at Nazara's defences. Rita, battered but unrelenting, attempted to avoid her wrath by wild shaping into a spider, crawling through the shadows to remain hidden, but Nazara found her. A volley of eldritch blasts struck her from the air, searing through the spider's tiny frame and the druid beneath. There was no time to run. Rita died under Nazara's glare. 2 allies dead, 1 still unconscious, Vellum still gone, and then a break. Etheria, still striking from the shadows, loosed an obsidian-tipped arrow, and it struck true, shattering Nazara's concentration. Vellum returned. Enraged, radiant, and relentless, he closed in. His recently forged solarite javelin struck true, hard, stunning her. Nazara staggered in the air, exhausted, wounded, defences gone, and neither Vellum nor Etheria stopped in their attack. Vellum struck again and again until Nazara broke apart in sunlight, in a scream, a shiver, and then whoosh, ashes scattered into the dark winds. As we bring you back into the game, the silence is deafening. The heart is gone. Corrupted mass burned. But not without cost. Dajar is dead. Rita is dead. Vladimir, her fate uncertain. Many of the stolen magic items lay broken or completely consumed. And that chamber is still. Liska, what are you doing?
Let's see. Liska is going to again yell out to Vellum. Use the amulet. Suck up whatever the fuck it is. Sao, take care of her. And she's going to point to Rita and then say, I'm going to get Dajar, and start heading back to where Dajar is. Yes, going to start. Going to dash. She's going to dash. Is that the right dash? Yeah. Dash. Look at me dashing.
So dashing.
Dash. The dashiest.
This party has the potential to be dashing, but we're not. Just no two ways about it.
Don't add up. Okay, I don't remember how much I moved. Well, fuck it.
And
I think that's my thing.
sheet style has changed again, so I'm struggling to find my fucking spell scrolls for a moment.
Oh,
I didn't do shit.
Sorry about that. I can go ahead and switch it back for you.
Please do.
Gotcha.
And, yeah, I think that's all Liska can do at this moment.
Alright.
I don't think she has any more features. She used all her features. So
Same.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, that's gonna be it for her. In turn.
Okay.
And
Etheria.
Well, let's see. I'm mildly aware of Dajar because I heard her thump, but I didn't necessarily see her die. I don't know about Badama. Not yet. And
hang
I
on.
don't think I even saw Rita go down.
Hang on. Sayun, where were you? You started there, didn't you?
yeah, I'm just slowly walking my way over.
Okay.
You jumped the gun a
I'm-
little bit. There was an
I'm
turn
taking
order.
my time, not
Yeah.
to, step
s-
on something.
So we're still in turn order, by the way.
Ah, okay.
It likely didn't auto pop up because it's
Yeah.
weak.
Okay. Etheria.
The reason I mentioned that is I don't think I'm aware, so I wouldn't be like rushing over. And no one's conveyed that.
That's correct. The only people
Well-
that know of Dajar's death are Niska and Sable. No.
Yeah, I know about Vadima because I saw her, and I've seen her shadow clone, and I saw you do the thing with the potion, and it didn't work. So that's probably going to be my priority. All right. It's 35, 40 feet. Excuse me. And I will now dash the remainder way. And I can. To there. And that's my turn.
All right, Sayun, what you doing?
Making my way over to Rita and using the spell scroll as shown in a little chat.
Okay, so it's been a while since people have died. We go by the rule that the resurrection challenge rules. I'll post that in the chat there, in the Foundry chat. Effectively, this is a rapid resurrection check, meaning you need to make a you need to roll a d20 and add your spellcasting modifier. The DC is 10 plus the number of previously successful resurrections. So Rita's never died, so this is just a base
That
DC
we
of
know
10.
of.
The TM is telling you right now.
Yeah.
I was actually
So
death addict. It's been like 20 times.
it's what, like an int roll for me?
This is just a straight intelligence check. You need to be at 10. 20. Easy. How does Rita come back? How does this how does this look for Sayun?
It is a scroll, which, as far as I recall, is ones she's bought before, because they were right there, and I was like, yoink. But it does have her more layer of things, in which she has a scroll in one hand unfolded and starts the incantation, and with her other hand, there's an almost green silhouette of a construct in her hand before she presses it to Rita's chest, and think like a heart starter, but single pad,
Clear.
and it jolts into her.
You immediately come to wakefulness, Rita. Hurt all around, blackened, bruised. A few impacts where those eldritch blasts struck you. But you're alive. Just barely.
Welcome back.
Thank you, Lord. Did we win?
Sai just looks back and then looks over to where, well, bright light has been slicing and dicing, and just nods as she returns her look. I think so. Now we just need to get to the others.
Oh, someone else die?
Hard to tell.
Well, just in case, we're just gonna take her staff and is gonna put it in her bag of holding.
Hmm.
From her fun bags of holding, she's gonna put out a small little cauldron that kind of looks like the size of a teacup.
Cute.
And she's gonna start attuning to that.
Okay. So we're still initiative, so we'll say that's what you're doing on your turns then.
Yep, it takes like an hour, right?
Yeah.
Enough turns that we can do whatever.
Mm-hmm. Is that your turn, Sayun?
Yes, I've moved, I've actioned.
Okay then. Vellum. You stand where she fell. That scent of ash and scorched roots lingers in the air, curling with each breath you take. It's difficult to kind of get your bearings in this moment. Nazara's remains are nothing but cinders now, and scattered across the chamber like brittle leaves. The heart is gone, obliterated in a storm of fire and defiance. But you still burn. But not with fear. Not anymore. You remember the dark. Her dark. Mortithax. Her wings eclipsed your world, her teeth, her cold breath, her eyes like wells of hatred. The fire wasn't fire. The fire that wasn't fire. Those twisted blue flames that licked at your flesh and carved itself into your mind. You remember the helplessness, the silence, the shame of not being able to help protect your allies in that moment, too exhausted to do anything. And then you remember Vardmir's gasp, not moments before. You just saw her falling. And you remember the moment that rage, your rage, ignited not in your heart, not in your blade, but in your heart. Nazara howled like a wounded mother when they destroyed her heart, her shriek shaking the barrow walls. But you, when you returned from the howling darkness, you moved like a storm. Her grief was twisted, selfish, monstrous. Yours was sharp, forged in love. She raged for what she created. You burned for who you lost. And that final strike, sunlight cutting through rot, wasn't just vengeance. That was a reckoning. But now as the dust settles, you feel that echo of it still in your chest, that trembling that once came in the darkness doesn't. The blue fire of your nightmares flickers somewhere in the memory, but no longer scorches. The darkness remains, but it's smaller, weaker, and it can't close around you anymore because you became that flame. And the mark she left on you, Mortithax's scar, etched into your spirit like a brand, cracks, not gone, but broken. And you broke it. And for the first time in a long time, you breathe without flinching. I'm going to remove that Mortithax's mark from your sheet.
Who knew all I needed to do to get rid of trauma was to get really, really angry?
It's your
Why
turn.
not just take your frustrations out on somebody else?
Yeah, just, direct my issues at somebody else.
It is your turn right now. As this flash of a moment peels through your mind, you kind of come back from this brief daze that you've been in, and you see before you this flickering mote of purplish, roiling blue-purple energy that seems to flicker with drifting marigold petals. And it seems like it's almost about to flicker out or disperse. You're not sure. What do you do?
As he approaches, he goes to reach for the amulet, the the Banzalan one. And his fingers brush over the Alshamic pendant. And then there's that pause, that moment of clarity described. And he sort of wraps his fingers around it for just a second, just a brief moment. Just says, "The light in the darkness." And then he shifts to the Banzalan amulet and goes to slurp up the bad juju.
Alright.
I presume there's not a check now that it's just energy and not a person?
There is no
Or do I
check.
still need to do a check?
There is no check to be made here. Nazara is gone. The only thing remaining of her is ash and cinders across the floor, as well as the few items that she held and wore scattered across its remains. You hold out the amulet and concentrate for a moment, letting that packed energy surge through you, letting Banzala's energy flow through you, through your fist, through your amulet, through that talisman. And in a flash of dark energy, a cold chill permeates the back of your mind, and you see that energy surge through the amulet in this burst of orange marigold petals, in this flicker of energy. The rest of you again feel that cold mote in the back of your mind, and you feel that coldness around your necks where those pendants hang. This power that is not meant for a single mortal body to contain alone, now dispersed among you. Easy to withstand now. And you will see that the glowing blue light of the skull pendants, the blue light in their eyes, flickering with potency.
And he'll go over the earring. It's done. And sort of once that concludes, once the task is performed and the adrenaline is fully faded in the moment of wrath, his expression, which was very sort of stoic and almost twisted for a time, softens in a moment of concerned shock as he realizes what he needs to do. And my movement will be lagging, apparently. Good lord. Lying my ass this way. Good God, Foundry, get your shit together. There we go. No bonus? No bono.
Alright. Liska.
Wait. Dash again.
And there you see, lying in a heap on the floor, the body of Dajar.
So going to going to scoop up Snake and give I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Because dead people hold the rare typing of both creature and object. If Dajar's not alive, do I have half movement while carrying her?
I'll say for the sake of this, considering you're a large creature and there's no struggling from Dajar, I'll say you can just carry her for the sake of this moment.
Just wear like a scarf.
I would also like to add real quick. As a limp person being carried by a physically much stronger and larger person, yeah, it's basically just doing the fucking fireman thing of up over the shoulder and go.
Dijar
Yeah, like,
already
it's not-
has broken bones, you know? Like, it's not like.
Mm.
They're not gonna get any more broken.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
you
not
don't
gonna
have
get
to do
more
it,
dead.
like, it's fine.
Might need to
Yeah.
grab though if you're gonna do the over the shoulder thing, but
You're
she's
gonna
like
have to,
80% ass.
Yeah, you're gonna have to like wrap her around a couple times around your arm.
Yeah.
Well, this can get exactly next to Vladimir. Alright. So we can bring Dijar with her, set Dijar down next to Vladimir, and then do just a piercing fucking whistle, like soldier whistle. Say, Sal, maybe Rita, like, come over here. Dijar's down as well. And that will end her turn.
All right. All right.
It's now Rita's turn.
Rita, what you doing? Oh, because I know you said we wanted to do something. I think right now we could go out of initiative at this point.
Yeah, I mean, seeing how it's my turn anyway. But the problem is that I can't see anything because Rita doesn't have night vision.
That is true.
So I guess well, I guess she does remember that like over here is like a pillar that she died on.
Yeah,
So she's gonna like place her hand on it,
yeah,
and then she's gonna like walk, like very slowly walk towards Liska's with the whistle.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and just take us out of initiative for now. I think that might
Well,
help.
I mean,
Oh,
like, I understand this, but Sal, I think, also still has another scroll revivifying, and we still have like 4 something turns left.
I have 2.
Like, yeah. So if Rita wants to do something, cool. But
Yeah. So
We are still on the timer for Revivify for Jar.
yeah, he's saying that. I guess she's gonna like. I assume like she's gonna hear Sao like take out another scroll, and Rita's gonna like. I mean, she can't really like necessarily accurately put her hand on her, but she's gonna like say like she's gonna say something like, "Oh, you won't need that. I can take care of her. It'll take a little while, but it'll be easier. It'll be easier for her, so she don't have to. There's no danger with it." And he shan't
There's just a
complain.
quirked eyebrow and just a slow nod. All right.
Yeah, and that Rita can't see because it's dark. Yeah, because the resurrection rules is for like quick revive, right?
There's resurrection rules for Revive too. That makes it harder.
Yeah. So I know is that there
Because
are
Sao
different
can actually
rules for
see in the
different
dark,
ways.
she'd probably help.
Yeah, so Rita's gonna like shout out to what Liska said. She's gonna answer something like, "Do not worry about the shower. I can handle her. Just take her and Vadmia and let's get out of here when we can, and I can fix her outside."
And on this, where I actually get a close view of Fatima, Etheria will hold up a hand and go, "Wait. Do not move her." As she's gesturing towards Fatima.
You see Velm just sort of stop midway, like he was about to pick her up, but then you say that and just freezes.
Jainer.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to approach the Goyle and confirm suspicions.
Seems to be a wall of metal in the way. I'm joking.
You walk around.
As you look upon her, It is certainly as you feared. You've heard about this before, but you've never seen it in your entire life. You've only heard stories. This is the first time seeing it up close.
And she'll just sort of kneel next to the child, side by side there with Velen, and just softly say, "By her one, she is withering."
She's what? Sorry, I didn't catch the
Withering.
What the hell does that mean?
We aren't supposed to sleep. When you do, it's supposed to be something very special, spiritual, finding a purpose. Or she kind of looks back to where the shadow once was. Trauma, part of you dying. And if you don't address it properly, all of you dying.
Well, you have all the answers. What do we do?
There isn't an easy answer. She may be asleep for days, weeks, even months. She may never wake up again.
What do we do?
He's just gonna kind of think. Normally, elders would gather. They would chant in circles and try and lure them back to consciousness. But there are no elders here. The only other way is if someone goes into a dream with her.
Is that something we can do?
She's just gonna turn to the dead body of Dejar. It's been done before. Can be done again. It is not guaranteed to succeed. But I'll try. We may not be able to move her from this place. If her body is not here when her consciousness tries to return to it, she may never wake up.
Dom's gonna sort of like so far he's just been like very stern-eyed at Etheria, but his eyes sort of drift back down to Bobby at this point. And at least make her comfortable.
Yes.
So looking at the sort of almost like not a mangled heap, but like the way she fell.
She just dropped in a pile. Yep.
Yeah. Alright, Maddie, I got you. He's gonna very carefully, like with the most delicate of movements possible, start just positioning herself a bit more comfortable, like even like resting the back of her head on a softer surface or like his lap or something. Like just whatever puts her in, not in the recovery position, but you get the vibe I'm going.
Yeah.
How did this happen, Etheria? We told her what to do. She knows what to do. Dawn's like she's been doing it longer than we've known her. How did this happen to my girl?
She made a choice. She wanted to help. She went, and she points in a direction. She disrupted part of the ritual with you.
You see,
Like when she stepped through the light, it was seen.
The moment Etheria mentions, like you did, there's like a sort of, like a deflation of his posture.
There's just gonna be like a gentle sort of like outreach of like her hand on your shoulder. She was trying to do the right thing.
I'm very
Because you
stupid,
should
also
be.
like being a bit too much like her old man. He'll start just like sort of gently patting her head.
Jen, are you had info?
you see next to her where she dropped is a long druidic staff, partially cracked.
She didn't have to do it. She could have just done what we said and been fine.
I'm pretty sure others have said the same about you.
Yeah, but I'm a grown-ass man. She's a kid. She was supposed to be fine. There was danger, there was risk. We planned as best we can.
As best we can. And she will draw a little circle with her finger around Fatima as she begins a little chant. And where her fingers touched, there's the slightest little beginning of green saplings and little sproutlings of grass and proper nature. And she's going to begin to lay down on one side of Fatima and kind of like hold her a little bit.
You notice as those blooms begin to unfurl through the earth. The earth itself responds, but not eagerly, but hesitantly, like a wounded creature sniffing the hand of a healer. And then you notice something seems to recoil around it. A number of the blackened and reddish blooms around seems to recoil. Tendrils fraying like threads in the wind, too weak to choke, but still venomous in retreat. There's something still here.
The final chamber still has something. Some corrupting force. This place can't be healed. Not yet.
In all likelihood, if something is to grow here again, it must be made to.
I have an answer for that. And I'm gonna do the thing that I talked about.
Okay. So, how are you getting this started?
I see that since it is struggling,
Oh, I should also say
Mm-hmm.
beforehand.
yeah.
We need
Anyone
to.
else want to do something while I'm preparing my little thing?
Yes, we need to address Sayun's Revivify here.
Yeah, I
With
was
Dejar.
waiting for you to sort of
Apologies.
rapidly.
So,
I thought the time had passed, and that's why we're out of initiative order.
oh no,
We just
I'll-
had this long fucking
No,
conversation.
this is happening simultaneously.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
Got
I
it.
understood
Do,
from the
do we
chat.
want to move the snake to a less clustered spot in that case?
We can move her a little bit over here.
I mean, y'all
sure.
already had y'all's moment. Like,
Yeah, I'm
Mhm,
just
yep.
saying, so like they have their moment and it's not obfuscated by what's going on.
So, as this is currently happening with Vardmir, Velum, and Etheria, Sayun, how does this look with Dejar as you bring out this secondary scroll?
Same as before. She has the scroll in one hand and starts the incantation. Her other hand has the sort of green frame of a construct forming. And there's a slight moment just before she is about to press it down and just... Gonna be okay. And jolt.
Alright, make me an intelligence check, please. Gotta be a 10. Alright, sorry, no, gotta be a... Oh, hang on. Has Dejar died before? I don't think she has.
well, it's a 17. Jenner.
Oh. D20, so 11 plus... yep, yep, okay. Dejar. Oh,
That is rolling it as an attack with extra stuff, but unless she's died
yeah,
more than
you,
4
Basically
times,
just
we're
gonna
good.
be two lower.
yeah, you,
So it's
you...
a 15.
Okay, so it's a 15 then.
Yeah,
How
I
d-
doubt Snake has died that many times.
Yeah. So,
I'd be worried if she did.
you feel this jolt
Let's see.
of magic jump through your system, Dejar. You saw that brief moment of blackness before you're pulled back from the brink.
There is just a bit of silence as she just opens her eyes, takes a deep breath,
Welcome back to the land of the living.
didn't feel fun being in oblivion.
No, it really doesn't, but join the club. As you can just see the sort of shit-eating grin Sao is given Dejar, just like she knows this is traumatizing as fuck, but she also is like, there is someone to talk about it all with.
He just laying there. I'm gonna just lay here for a bit. I fell twice. I might want to get up anytime soon for at least a minute.
This is gonna kneel by Dejar and just silently offer, like, hold out a potion of greater healing, with just kind of like a questioning look on her face.
Oh, thanks. I'll take that.
Trust me, Dejar. You're sore now. Tomorrow? Yeah, you're gonna lay in bed.
He's not saying anything, as her eyes are not really focused on anything at the moment. Her mouth is moving like she's saying something in her native tongue. Damn it, Mom.
It'll be okay. We're in less of a rush now. Just... you can breathe.
Okay.
All right. So, what is Etheria doing?
Gonna cast a spell.
Okay. You're attempting to cast what spell?
Is that one?
Okay. So, is this the action or over the course of 8 hours?
The 8 hours one.
Okay. So, following the climactic defeat of Nazara and the destruction of this nightmare heart, you sense this fragile opportunity that's emerging here within the shattered chamber. You sense, just at the very edge of your natural sense here, as you plant your hand within the soil, attempting to force growth here. Again, the nightmare seems to be pushing back. Make me either I'll say a nature check with advantage, an insight check, or just a spellcasting check.
Could I assist in some way due to the presence of divine light?
How would you like to assist?
You mentioned that the plants are resisting, right? Like the nightmare plants?
Mm-hmm.
Since Valen's still got like one hand on his blade, in sort of like a vague lashing out kind of gesture, just swings at some of the nightmare plants, like lopping them, like clearing a bit of them in the immediate vicinity of that arm side.
Gotcha.
Are you away from my daughter? And maybe just like the presence of that divine sunlight might assist the nature ritual in some way, just thinning the problems encroaching.
Okay. I'll give you advantage on this, Etheria. Nature, spellcasting, or an
I
insight
was gonna
check.
do nature with advantage.
I'll,
Because that's my best one.
Fair enough.
I'll say.
Sorry, I wanted to help. I wanted to
say-
help you cool moment.
No, you did.
I'll say it's
Maybe-
reduced.
maybe-
I'll say it's reduced the DC by 2.
Got it. All right, here we go.
With a 20.
20.
There is a foothold of the nightmare still here, as weak as it is like a dying animal that refuses to let go. The roots along the ceiling twitch, not alive, not dead. They react like nerves exposed, kind of shuddering at the edges of your vision. It's something refusing to let go. This place is not safe for new life, at least not yet. But there is that curl of green beneath your hand, a single vine unfurling from the crack between the stones, fresh, delicate, impossibly out of place, and the nightmare recoiling from it ever so slightly. And you can feel it beneath your hand, through the marrow of your bones. The barrow is waiting, not for a command, but an invitation. Again, if anything is to grow here again, it must be made to. And you cannot do this alone.
Oh, so I failed.
No, you haven't failed. You guys are entering a skill challenge here.
Oh man, roll up your
Twilight
sleeves,
Zone.
boys.
And
There
I can't
is-
boost because I'm out.
There is an opportunity to reclaim the barrow here. Not by the dream, but by nature itself. with Etheria, as you've initiated this, being deeply attuned to the natural world, probably Rita too might be able to aid in this. Both you and Rita could possibly lead an effort to push back the lingering nightmare presence and seed new growth. Time and magic are limited, and what you accomplish here may define whether this place becomes fertile ground again in short time, or a scar that festers for decades as the nightmare slowly dies here. So it's going to be a best of 5 skill challenge.
So succeed 3, win.
3, yes, indeed. And considering that, I would say probably Rita and Etheria could both be the catalysts here. The rest of you need to make skill checks. The initial DC is going to be 16. Each successful skill check will lower a final spell casting check that both Rita or Etheria needs to make by 2 to a minimum of 10. Each failed check increases that spellcasting DC by 2 to a maximum of 22. So we need 3 skill checks from people here in the party, and at the end of those, depending on how many... sorry, let me double check. Yeah,
I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
This is 8 hours later, right?
Because
Etheria just cast an 8-hour version of a spell.
No, this is
It didn't work.
No, this is her in the middle of doing it, and the nightmare is refusing to yield. You guys are going to have to pass this skill challenge in order to force the nightmare back, effectively, for that spell to fully take hold here.
So is it,
So it's like a retroactive skill check.
The plant growth thing is you can either cast it as an action or over 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the DC under 20.
You are
The roll that Etheria cast.
So the
Etheria made.
Okay, so there are five rounds, so you need the best of 3 rounds.
I don't think that's the problem. The confusion is I cast a spell with the intent of I was going to be channeling that while trancing and entering this thing to help Fatima and do that Satyr Armanu spirit tree connection.
Yes,
that version was 8 hours.
I understand
but
that.
As I'm doing that, if it fails, and now we have to do a skill check to see if I succeed.
No, hang on.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to piece that together.
So the spell hasn't failed. You are in the process of channeling that spell, but the lingering nightmare energy here is trying to push back. You are the focal catalyst of this spell. Everyone else here needs to make a series of skill checks in order for let me try to explain it here. We're going to do 5 rounds here of skill checks. You're going to need the best of 3, so you need 3 successful rounds. In each of those rounds, you need 3 successful skill checks.
The best of 15.
I will.
That is what you're saying.
I will
We
post.
need at least 3 successful rounds.
Tell you
Each
what,
round
it might
is
be
the best
best
of 5.
if I just sort of paste the
I think
rules.
Jenna
No,
just
I was-
double explain.
Yeah, I was agreeing with you, Janner. I was just putting it in a different light. This is the best of 15.
There we go.
Y'all have fun with that. Oh.
Now, my question here
Mm-hmm.
is this all like we know the spell, the casting of the spell is an 8-hour affair. Is this challenge happening on the initial outset of it, where we beat back the darkness and it is allowed to progress, or is this over the course of the 8 hours we do things that may assist in it, or we like, notice that
This would be I would say over the course of the 8 hours you would do things that would assist with it.
Yeah, it's kind of how I thought it was gonna be.
Okay.
Meanwhile, this would be Etheria focusing on that being a focal point, going into her dream, going into Vladmir's dream.
So essentially, like, mechanically we're doing all this now, but narratively this is happening over a long period of time, which shouldn't intersect or interfere too much with anything people want to do in that time. But yeah, we're just mechanically getting it all out of the way.
Yes. So what we're doing right now, what we're doing mechanically is we're doing the skill challenge first, and that will affect how this dream that Etheria is delving into progresses, and that will be addressed after the skill challenge.
I wonder if a bath potion can get rid of nightmare ting.
It's up to you. Whatever.
I don't think a bath potion will, though. I'm just playing with ideas. I don't have great skill checks.
It's up to you how you want to justify what you're doing and how that might help.
What you can say, Evan?
Okay, sorry, I'm just looking over the rules. The rules make it seem like it's just the best of 5 skill checks. It doesn't mention multiple rounds.
Right.
I think Jenna just mixed up the vernacular of rounds. It's not rounds in the traditional sense.
Yeah.
In the mechanical D&D sense, it's just 5 slots of time
Sorry.
where we do a check per.
It's
It's not like combat rounds. It's not combat rounds.
That's not
feel
what I
like-
was confusing the rounds with. It's that Janner said it's the best out of 5, but we have to succeed multiple rounds, whereas the rules he has written out do not say that. The rules that he's written out make it seem like it's just 5 skill checks that one of us has to make. Essentially, 5 of us have to make skill checks, 3 of us have to succeed. Like it's so that's why I was like, so it's the best of 15. Like, or I guess technically is it 17? Yeah, best of 17 is 9. We have to have 9 successes from how Janner explains it, whereas
Yes.
the rules he has written is it's the best of 5.
Yeah. Sorry, that might have just been me kind of skimming through my own DM notes here. Me understanding it with yeah.
Those.
Yeah. So
Again.
yeah.
It's not the first time.
Yeah. Okay, so
Take a breath, Janner. Take a breath.
okay, so what we'll do here is we'll take it as it goes. We'll do the first round of skill checks here. You need at least 3 successful skill checks out of 5. Base DC is 16. It might be better understood if we do it if we do it instead of having to go through like a few more minutes explaining it, you know.
Sure, I guess. Is you saying that the same skill cannot be reused?
Same skill cannot be reused, but of course you don't have to use skill checks. You can use pretty much however you want to justify things. Like you might say, take a potion of healing and sort of water a few plants with it, and we'll have it's less of a fixed skill and more like how what type of ability check or skill check could we use for this? more of an improv thing, you know. It's purely
Show our intent, and maybe it'll require a roll.
yeah, pretty much.
All right.
Racking my brain here.
Depends on how you want to assist and what to assist with.
So I have a second, or I guess I have a follow-up. That's multiple. Aetheria's not involved in this, right?
She is the focal point of the ritual. She has to make that spell casting
I
check.
meant in the checks.
Oh,
Like,
not
she
not in
can't
this.
do any skill checks because she's literally casting a spell at this point,
Mhm.
right?
Correct. She's using she's making spell casting ability checks.
Yeah, that's
Which
at the
is,
end, the culmination of all of this.
Yeah, the DC of which is modified depending on how unsuccessful or successful your skill checks are.
I have a question, Jenny.
Yes.
If we get successes and then just stop trying, can we stick at the DC that we've lowered it to for the roll?
If you
Like, do we have, like, by not doing anything, are we failing checks?
if you're not doing anything, I would say that would be like a failed check because you're not doing anything to sort of hold back the nightmare, you know.
I mean, but we have been. That's what I was asking. Like, if we get, let's say, first round, all 5-ish of us get successes. We lower the DC by 10. Good enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying that it's going to actively build back up the resistance? You can't fail a check that you don't make. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, in regards to balance, it's a 2/3 chance of failure. If we like, there's the success, a fail, and a neutral where nothing happens. But instead, it's like a success, a fail, or we fail by not doing anything. So if we've lowered it to a point where we're confident that check could be successful without risking a failure to make it worse again, like, you know, is doing nothing an option, or is it just we have to try and pray that we succeed?
I would have to say that the resulting spellcasting DC would gradually get higher. Were you not to do anything? It's all about sort of keeping the nightmare at bay in order for that last spellcasting ability check to be low.
One last question before we start doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds like it's a skill check and battle of attrition against the nightmare.
Mm-hmm. This is to determine whether or not you establish a foothold here so that nature can very quickly heal, or if it becomes just a blighted scar and the nightmare is just left to die over decades. You've defeated the nightmare. It's going to die, but this is going to determine how long that's going to take.
And how long is going to help with whatever Aetheria's doing.
Correct.
Got it. Okay then. Alright.
So we defeated the nightmare, but it still can regain strength.
It's more a case of how long it takes to go away. It's going to go away eventually.
No, I mean that's what I'm saying though. Sorry, I am no longer voicing my.
No. Voice your opinion. I'm sorry I cut you off.
It's just as things have been narratively explained, it will die. It is in the act of dying. How fast it dies is what this is determining. So what you're saying though, by not doing anything, it suddenly is getting a second wind by increasing the DC. Like that's also why I was a bit more questioning about we're gonna have to make successes across multiple rounds, because what I had in mind with Aliska was she can do athletics or survival. Survival, she can go around being like, oh hey, like that's still trace of the nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can we stab that with obsidian? And like that can be something that can take 8 hours of doing to slowly go around and kill what remainder of the nightmare's still alive.
Okay, hold on. So-
or like survive or like athletics where she can go
So,
around and
one
physically rip shit out of the ground.
1 second. I'm just gonna pause the recording here. So
That's why you always wear underwear in a dwarven brothel.
yes, exactly. So as you channel this energy into the chamber, Etheria, you can feel just at the boundary of the edges of your perception, the essence of the nightmare is refusing to give way, at least for the moment. You are able to channel that magic through the chamber, but something is stopping you for now. Something that is refusing to die. What is Etheria doing?
I don't know. She's attempting to channel this spell, and it's not working. How do I? Something's just refusing to die.
Correct. Something here is refusing to die, and from what you could surmise, something is going to have to give. Something is going to have to weaken it from the other side in order for your outgrowth to pour over it like a tide. Something else, I guess, like we just discussed, it's like something else. Something else's plant growth is butting up against yours.
Okay. She will have her frustration as she's trying to get her little glowing circle to work, and all it is perhaps at most a faint glow, whatever managed to bloom shortly withers. She'll just mutter to herself, and those nearby, of course, there's no. This place is. It's almost like it's too far gone. Like it doesn't want to come back. Something's stopping it. And she keeps continuing trying to draw these little circles around Vadima and keep the bit of the nightmare away. Something's trying to take its place.
Is there anything that we can do?
She kind of looks at your big ass fucking. Is it the hammer right now, or?
Yes.
I don't imagine you could smash the spiritual embodiment of corruption.
Maybe not spiritual, but I can bash the physical embodiment of corruption.
She looks to the giant root that she's on. That'd work.
Liska's going to just give an understanding nod, smash. Liska knows smash.
Smash. Let's get no smash.
And can look okay, I guess everybody start wrecking shit. And
It doesn't just have to be wrecking shit.
no, too late. It is wrecking
Metaphorically,
shit.
like it.
I know you. She's just gonna kind of look down. I know you got the big hammer and everything, but she's gonna tap at her own chest. I know you got more there too. Something. Well, if Bear can see it, you could even be contribute in more ways than just your might. I guess whatever you would want to do to push away those dark factors.
But this is magic. I am not magic. I am a creature of sinew and muscle. I do what I can. But this is more emotions to you, to Rita, to Sal, to Darth. This is something I cannot see. I have to trust that you will take care of it and bring Fadmia back. You see, like, as she says that, there's just like, you hear the creak of leather and metal as like her fists clench as she realizes that in this moment she really is kind of useless. This isn't something that she knows how to fight. Like, she just kind of gives a nod and walks over and starts fucking up roots.
And as she's just taking those big swings, she'll just, well, hey, don't forget underneath all that sinew and muscle is still a heart and soul. It's not what you do with all of that might, it's what you do it for. And that's what fights the corruption.
Right now, my heart and soul wish to fuck shit up.
Alright.
She yells from across the room.
And that's why Bear likes you.
Alright, so how are you putting this plan into action, Liska?
Liska, I think this will be kind of for her would be an athletics check.
Okay.
Just to, I don't want to do like weapon swings. This is just like
a
general overview of what she's doing. She's like smashing corrupted-looking roots, like pulling up plants. She's like the world's most violent weed eater.
Gotcha.
And so I think that's what she's gonna do.
Go ahead and make me an athletics check.
I say, you know what? I wouldn't ever really use it either way, so I'm gonna do my inspiration.
Base DC here is going to be 16.
Inspiration for advantage.
Oh, 22. Would you like to flavour this in any way?
I would say that, like, Liska just kind of, as I was saying earlier, just kind of skulks off into the darkness, and I think what she'll probably actually do is she'll go down into the pit and start just absolutely tearing up the little plinth, like, root ball that was holding the heart. And she's essentially just gonna try to rip that shit out the ground, like chop it down, smash it, tear it up.
Okay. So that's gonna take a bit of time to do, but
I have 8 hours.
Yeah, you might not be able to rip up the entire plinth, but you could certainly deal enough damage to it where you can start to feel the rather you can see a number of the reddened thorns begin to lose their reddened colour, fading to this greyish dead hue. You can see a number of the plants begin to wither away. A number of the blooms around your hooves as you're kind of stepping up into here are also fading away with each swipe of your hammer. Crack, crack! You can hear throughout the cavern. Would anyone else like to contribute to this?
Well, at the moment, Zishar is going to be unattuning to 2 items and tuning to 2 items.
Okay.
At the moment. So let someone else do it. And
I mean, this is over the course of 8 hours. I mean, if you want to attune to something and then contribute, you could.
Okay then. Let's see. I think, sticking to what she knows, she's gonna use the Sun Staff and Laystone Siphoner in tandem. It's almost like I would say like a cleansing fire of magic. It's like how he used the Siphoner in the Dragon Rider's tomb. He's doing it here in here in this chamber.
Limp, hurting, you clutch your you almost feel like it's broken from where you hit it or landed on it a couple of times. But with that pained strength, you hold aloft the staff, the sun staff, letting the orb of sunlight beam through the chamber, its own source of light here. And as you pass by some of these flowers, they seem to clench and curl up, leaning away from it, almost withering away and dying at the sunlight. Conversely from what, plants are meant to do, but these are entirely unnatural and on their way out, it seems. Let's see. Who else wants to contribute? Oh wait, so yeah, I'll say, make me either an Arcana or a Religion check with advantage.
I'll do
I wonder which one the wizard's gonna do.
the Arcana.
For clarity's sake, Arcana, comma, or Religion with advantage.
Yes.
Does the Arcana have advantage, or
Uh,
only the Religion?
The Arcana does not have advantage, no.
Okay, so I'll just do the Arcana.
Oh, chunky.
Alright, that succeeds. So the final spellcasting check is down to 12. Who else wants to contribute to this?
I got no idea because I'm super low on everything.
I don't know if I really
I'll-
have anything to use.
You can somehow get perception to be a thing.
Yeah, I'm looking through my spell list and see if there's anything I can do, but I don't really think so. Unless a healing spell will work. Because I don't know if she's hurt in any way physically.
I mean, if you wanted to use a healing spell, that could be like a spellcasting check.
Yeah, because I was looking at speak with plants, but
Ah,
it doesn't really. I don't know. It doesn't really do anything.
I mean, this is a moment to use your creativity.
Sure, but just reading what the spell does is very
I don't
what's
think
happening to see.
I mean, we're surrounded by plants. One that's dying, one that's trying to prevent it from living. There's a lot that can
Yeah.
be said about.
Yeah, but the thing is that it just makes them pseudo sentient. I don't have any magical control over them. I can just ask them things, and if they're evil, corrupted plants, that's not really gonna do anything. That's the problem.
I mean,
Yell at them.
you can yell.
It's like, oi, fuck
Or
off.
Yeah, it's just mainly kind of reading what the spell actually does. It doesn't really do anything that I think will help because all the plants around here are evil and corrupted. And again, I don't really get any actual control over them.
You don't have to use spells. You can use a skill.
Yeah, it's just I'm just kind of looking because spells seem to be more, an insured thing.
I mean, speak with plants at least allows you, at least opens up other skill use, right? Because you can do persuasion, you can do I don't know, insights to be to talk to them and get an insight into how they're feeling if they're leaning one way or another. What if they might be corrupted, but corrupted doesn't necessarily mean inherently evil. They might hate the fact that they're being manipulated like this because this is an unnatural occurrence.
Yeah, the problem is that it also is good. the issue. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much else other than like healing spells or dispel magic, which I don't think is really gonna do anything because you know there's other
Spell magic could do
spells.
something.
I don't know. Like, won't that like fuck up other spells around?
Not if you're looking. The way I've did it before, not really. If you're aiming at the like a thread of corruption, you're trying to undo what little threads that Nazara tried to plant here. Quite literally.
Yeah, I guess it's
You
just
need
kind
to
of up to Janner because it specifically targets a spell, and I don't know if this is a spell.
I mean, we're doing creative uses of skills and items here. This would be, I'd say, like a spell casting check for you.
Yeah, it's all esoteric anyway, so it's
Yeah.
not like rigid mechanical stuff.
Oh fuck. All right.
You good?
No, but let's go. Sure. Let me just do like.
Again,
I don't know, I guess I'm just gonna-
your imagination is your limit. Is the only limitation here. Depends on how you want to justify your usage of skills and spells and whatever.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's really super creative right now. But I guess I'll just. I don't know. I guess I'll do dispel magic. I guess like I could try speak with plants, but that'll be like a spell slot, and then I have to also do a check.
I mean, if you're indecisive, let the dice decide.
Yeah. Fuck it. I'll just speak with plants. Fuck it.
Okay.
Consume spell slot. Yeah, sure.
All right. So
Access unauthorized. Please use your API. Okay.
okay, so
This is not right. You
Good.
cannot speak to these plants.
I'll say go ahead and make me a spell casting check. The DC has gone down to 12.
Let's see. That's a spell casting check.
You just need it's just a wisdom check basically.
Yeah. Exactly. Just an ability check, right?
Just a wisdom ability check.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Feeling
your
that these plants are all evil and won't listen.
that's the first failure.
Yeah.
DC goes up to 2. No, sorry, it goes up to 14.
No, you heard you the first time. It goes up to 2. The DC is 2, everyone.
You need one more success. As you begin channeling speak with plants, you attune yourself to the natural world around you, and you just sense this deathly fear within the core of this heart chamber. You sense that fear of oblivion that holds onto whatever that fear of oblivion that this place seems to be sensing. It senses its demise. It senses that it's near death, but refuses to let go. Like you're almost reminded of some of your eldest sort of crotchety old family members back in Mayland who are just don't have the best outlook on the world, so to speak, but they're holding on to life just for spite alone. That is the sense that you get with the greenery here. That withered greenery.
Oh well.
Who else wants to give it a go?
Well, it's just Ducky and me. So, Ducky, do you have anything?
I got a single second level slot, and I could do some lesser restoration.
Okay.
Other than that, I have no clue.
I got something that's not as effective. Might not be as effective.
I don't know what else I sort of can do.
Well, it's up to you if you want to do it.
I got restorative ointments.
If you want to try and like
Just-
cleanse some of the taint with the lesser restoration, that's the thing you could do. It's a case of how
You can rub
confident you feel in it.
you can rub the ointment on Liska and help her, smash stuff longer.
Will that work? Considering you already made a roll.
I was just joking, but if it would work, hey.
Well, I mean, how do you feel like you could justify it? Which role are you trying to justify using here?
I don't know yet. I'm trying to spitball some ideas because I don't know what else I could do. I am burnt out on so many resources.
Esoteric.
Yeah, like
I might
percent,
try and use the lesser restoration.
If you want to, you might be able to use your Uber perception, advantage perception, to help point out where Liska should smack.
Potentially.
Like, oh, I noticed there's a glow still over there. Like, that root's glowing more than that one. Kill that one. Stuff like that.
You know what? That sounds like a genius idea.
If you-
My suggestion was getting the flamethrower turret out.
So,
I mean, do you want to die of smoke inhalation here?
That's why I'm glad we didn't go with that idea.
so if you want to use perception, that's entirely valid. To help out
Let's
Liska.
try.
All right, go ahead.
Um,
You need to
would
beat
you
a.
like a passive of 24?
Ooh, that's a fair point.
I feel like
Gen-
I feel
genuine
like
I
skill
mean,
checks
yeah.
don't get passives.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you,
passively skill check.
23.
There we go.
Okay.
Wasn't
And
even a percent.
let's see.
Wait, it
that
was.
was.
Yeah. I just didn't see that there was like a.
I think I also think Etheria said something, and did Etheria said something about wanting to move to the center of the chamber?
Yeah, I did respond, but there's
Mhm.
a lot going on, so.
Yeah, is the middle still on fire?
It appears to
out?
be. It appears to have died down for now.
Velomas, if Etheria was sure that it'd be fine, like we being tentative about it.
She did
Yeah,
kind of
my
make a big
picture's
deal.
broken.
She did kind of make a big deal out of not moving Vladimir, so
Yeah, well, more information was given to me.
Very fair. Like you learn more as time goes on. Etheria is kind of also
Exactly.
grasping in the dark here, so it's like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
normally we get elders for this shit.
Uh,
What do?
I can grow
Yeah,
real
Velma
quick.
like carefully pick Vladimir up, like cradling in his arms, and like I don't know if the flying potion's gone off yet or not, but he is going to move her somehow to the middle.
Okay,
Jenna, can you drag us? Because it takes so fucking
sure.
long to get her.
I'll go and do that. I'll drag all three. I'll drag all three over.
Thank you. This is a little chuggy. Have you been adding more modules?
No, surprisingly. I think it's just this chamber. So, as you all begin, as you all go about doing your various tasks here, Liska and Sayun splitting off to one end of the chamber, eventually making their way down to the central plateau here, cutting out, smashing some of those corrupted roots. With the jar surrounding the perimeter, this blisteringly blinding ball of sunlight on her staff. And as you continue your ritual, Etheria, eventually your magic begins to spill into the chamber like sunlight pouring through storm-torn clouds. As your fingers brush the twisted roots, a warmth spreads outwards, quiet at first and then insistent. Sickly purple bleeds into softer browns. The bark flexing like living breath. Pale green moss snakes outwards across the floor, claiming shattered wood and rot. Faint motes, golden and luminescent, begin to flow from her hands, settling on shriveled flowers and coiling thorns. And wherever they land, colour blossoms. Wilted petals unfold into vibrant pinks and gentle whites, like spring remembered in the dead of winter. And you kneel beside a knot of brambles, kind of whispering these old sylvan words, ancient and lilting. The vines writhe and then shiver like something waking from a long, cruel sleep. And they part slowly, revealing this sprig of fresh ivy, tendrils gleaming with a dew despite the chamber's stale air. And as your magic seeps into the soil, the scent of petrichor fills the space. A breath of wind, warm and earthy, stirs through the chamber, and it carries with it flecks of pollen and faint motes of green light that settle upon the blackened bark, transforming it in patches into healthy brown wood. Then the nightmares flitching. You kind of kneel beside her, Vellum, pressing your palm into the ash-covered soil. And you feel that ripple of green erupt outwards. Emerald veins of energy pulse through the blackened ground, where it touches, the decay recoils. You see bioluminescent fungi erupt in constellations of oranges, turquoises, ghostly blues. The caps unfurling like breathing lungs, releasing motes that rise into the air like fireflies. The chamber exhales, a gentle warmth filling the air, curling around you, Etheria, like a promise kept. The thorny vines unravel and reach skyward. The once bloodied leaves now soft with dew and pale sunlight. The chamber, once suffocating beneath layers of rot and ash, exhales. A warmth beneath rises from the soil. There's a calm that falls around here. What Nazara built here, what she defiled, is gone. The nightmare heart lies as a blackened husk beneath layers upon layers of greenery. And you hear it before you see it. You hear a tiny thing stirring, insects chirring, a drip of fresh water somewhere in the dark. The soil once starved is now rich with the promise of growth. And at its centre, where death had rooted deepest, that new life takes its first breath. Not divine, not dream-born, just natural, real, enduring. Over time, the rest of the grove will follow, and the barrow will breathe again. Not in memory of what was once lost, but because something new has begun.
And seeing that it is working, there will be a deep breath and sigh of relief as she allows herself to slump back, exhausted, and begin to slumber.
Alright. So before I move on to that scene, does anyone else want to do anything while here?
I want to look for
Take a
Grunka.
rest.
Yeah, I wanted to go look for Grunka. I'm glad somebody remembered. I got preoccupied.
He's
Yep.
down there.
I'm lagging
He's
a
a
little
grown
bit.
ass man. All right, you got to take care of the kid first.
Yeah, somebody go get the boy, please.
Yeah.
I felt so bad that I had to
No.
ditch him to go back to Valmir.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are lucky that he's not actually in any danger. Otherwise, he would have been dead as fuck now.
Just like, wait a minute, I saw Grunka here somewhere. There's just a pile of flowers with a Grunka face sticking out of it.
Again, Jenner was very nice and just made him unconscious.
Very nice indeed.
Okay. How's Grunka?
You can see him about quite a ways up the wall. He's a good like hang on, you're like right down there. He's a good ways up from you, about 45 feet. He looks like he's sort of bound up in vines.
Just on the earring. Hey, Liska, I am gonna need your help. I found Grunka.
What part can you just yell out loud?
Hey, Liska, found Grunka.
This could go starts like this.
Alright.
He's too high for me to even reach up.
Spicy.
I'm too tired to even attempt. Over here.
Just have to click on the footage thing. Oh, there. Okay. Eh.
Yeah, he's way up there.
He's still with. Can't tell if it's. Sometimes wish not line of sight shadows. Alright, yeah, I guess let's go. So he's 20, so 30, 50, so he's 20 feet off of base. Yeah, Liska's going to climb up this little pathway until she's even with Grunka.
Mm-hmm.
Then she's going to kind of hang on the wall and reach out and start taking vines.
Gotcha. You to start ripping away the vines, which is fairly easy to do for you. And Grunka's limp body kind of falls into your arm.
Alright, little fella. Time to get down. That's good, just kind of.
Also, not to be a total diverter and pull Vellum away from his precious. Pump a star medal over here. Oh yeah, I think he's away.
Ah.
Yeah, Liska's gonna get Grunks down, bring it back down to the ground. If 30 sits on ground level.
Let's see.
Gives little love taps to, or Liska gives little love taps to Grunka. Like, the little slaps in the face wake him up, or is he just...
He's unconscious.
Perhaps try a health potion?
Do whatever you want.
Okay, I'm gonna try and administer a health potion to Grunka.
Alright.
Need to target him.
Can we stop mounting stuff on Leska? Jesus Christ. We don't need to do it every fucking time. Or at least make the modules that dismount work.
Oh, we're talking about getting the turret off you.
No, getting
Nope.
Grunka off me. This Jenner mounted Grunka onto Leska.
You gotta stop randomly mounting people. It's not polite.
Oh yeah, Willem. Or
Yeah.
Fable, whatever.
are
There's a
you
couple
aiming?
of star metal over here.
I know. I saw it. I'll, I'll get it eventually. Don't worry.
Yeah. Also,
This place will be looted.
I found Eld.
Og. How's the boy doing?
I just can't pick him up.
Oh.
Be specific.
There we go.
Yoink.
Alright, so as you kind of gingerly pour the pour the potion of greater healing down Grunka's throat, making sure not to choke him with it.
Yep.
Grunka, you waking up, almost choking on it.
Bro, method
Swallow
acting
first,
over here.
don't
What the hell?
breathe.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Well, I had to get you up somehow.
Where am I?
Welcome to the living, and you're somewhere underground.
Informally Evil 3.
Oh. I don't like trees.
At this point, I don't think anyone does.
Grog is basically he's basically naked. He has nothing on him.
Nothing but clothes on his back.
Yeah. Where's El? Where's my
Somewhere around here.
stuff?
Oh.
Did Sal actually say she found Eld?
No, but she did pick it up and have it. But yeah, once she have it secure in her hand, she'll mention it over the earring. Being
Sal,
specific to avoid interrupting mom and dad up there.
Leska's gonna look at Grog and say, Sal has Eld today.
Oh,
We need to get you back your earring. Oh, and Liska's going to hand Grunka all his shit because she picked up his bag.
amazing.
And with that, I'll just drag on Grunka's unaffected token.
I was gonna say it's gonna be a lot easier to do than
Yeah.
do all this other shit. There he is.
It's your boy.
It's your boy with 8 HP.
Also, magic amulet.
Yeah, I was gonna get that later.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
we
just sort of
understand
doing
you're
a
looting
round.
right now. Let's say we can, the place
We
will
can-
be looted. We can
tell.
move on narratively.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
Janner, there are so many images that are broken in this inventory. Like
Well,
almost
Grunka
every
hasn't been
item
around
ha-
for a while, so we
yeah,
have had a big
almost-
update.
Yeah, almost every item has a broken
Oh,
image to it.
that might just be you.
Maybe.
Might need to refresh.
Well, I mean, you have
Oh.
fixed a number of images since
You
he
should
played.
have 16 more health to you, by the way, Gabo.
Mm-hmm. I will that's when I am back. I'm just refreshing.
I love that while this is going on, Sao is casually walking around picking flowers. Having a bit of a girly time in the background.
I mean, it's the one thing I can do in the meantime. I mean, I could also
Yeah.
start looting Nasara's body, but
I really want to look at what the fuck she had, because that's crazy what she's been doing.
There's not much of
Oh,
a body
trust
left,
me.
It's just a pile of dust.
Yeah, there's,
I've
there's
had a
some
look at her-
empty clothes and sunburned, scorched fabric. That's pretty much it.
oh no, I've had a look at her stuff, and she is wearing some interesting stuff.
I'm gonna drink
I mean,
my
we've got
last
8
potion.
hours, so...
She were wearing.
Speaking of things that
Her,
will happen
what her
in 8
corpse
hours,
was wearing.
Yes,
transition to Etherea's.
indeed.
Yeah, since this seems to be devolving into looting and discussion of things that are looted.
Let me go
I'm just
ahead.
looking
Goblin.
stuff up in the background.
Okay. Where did I put my notes for this? I put it somewhere.
Somewhere.
Somewhere. Hang on, just gonna pause. Alright, cool. Unpause. You do sense it. There is a slight heat within your heart that seems to point in a specific direction. You've not truly noticed it until you've been without Eld, but there is a specific direction that points you directly in this direction, specifically towards Sao.
Where's
Yeah,
Sal?
she holds up Eld, and sort of like, here it is.
You see the extinguished obsidian wrought axe of a very familiar weapon. But it is already on your sheet, so you can just
Yeah.
delete that from your inventory, Salyan.
But yeah, Sao is definitely just gonna gently hand it over, knowing how much this means to Grunka.
I mean, yeah. Grook is gonna walk like to the wall, and then he's just gonna like slowly ascend 30 feet up. And then
I imagine he's doing the air step thing, like just walking upstairs that it doesn't exist.
yeah, essentially, he's kind of like walking in a little spiral. Yeah, he's just gonna get up there, and then he's gonna like reach his hand out and grab it.
That familiar heat within your grasp fills you once more. That pushed down anger that you've you've always been holding on to whenever you've held the axe. That burning intensity within your soul, ready to be unleashed at a moment's notice, finally returns to you.
Oh boy, time to spend an hour attuning.
Okay. So as you're doing that, Etheria, you surrender to sleep.
Yes.
Not the shallow kind, but a descent, slow and velvet dark into something deeper than just dreaming. Around you, the hush tightens. You feel the breath of ancient moss, the creak of roots turning beneath the soil. A breeze rustling unseen leaves. There's no birdsong, no heartbeats, only the slow rhythm of something eternal, stirring within the skin of the world. And you're not dreaming your own dream. You're tethered, drifting along a current not yours, drawn not by will but by proximity. Through Vadmir you are granted passage into the dream, the soul realm of your peoples, a place few mortals ever dare touch. Except for satyrs, of course. But even here, within the current of her sleeping mind, this dream is not hers. This is a memory. One not kept by flesh, but by root and grove. A recollection preserved in the soil of the Ebonwood itself, stored within the dream like a pressed flower between pages. You're not people here, you are outlines. Echoes, fogs of thought, half-formed phantoms, drifting on the edge of someone else's sacred moment. The scene begins to shape around you. A forest unfolds, immense, hushed, luminous with colour and shadow. Trees of pale amethyst light, of pale amethyst bark tower overhead, leaves shimmering a deep turquoise. Vines hang in braided coils, bridges of living wood arc above your head. Bioluminescent moss spreads like spilled paint across stone and root. And motes of drifting fey light drift lazily on invisible currents, trailing this luminous dust like fireflies caught in mid-dream. Let me go ahead and bring out some ambience here.
Sorry, it's supposed to be Grunka. I don't know why it didn't select her.
Okay, here we go. At the grove's heart there is a sacred stillness. A spirit tree stands sentinel, trunk as wide as a castle tower. Its bark flows like glassy jade, its branches reach through to the heavens. But the heavens do not answer, because above the sky itself is starless, moonless, twilight caught in suspension. But within the glade, life stirs. Figures gather in a circle beneath the spirit tree's boughs, elders in ceremonial robes of woven vine and bark mantles, horns wreathed in moss and jewel dust. Spirit seers murmur prayers in Sylvan, weaving old rites into the hush. One kneels at the centre, arms glistening with dew and blood, cradling a newborn, lifted from the sacred spring fed by the tree's own roots. A new life among the long-lived is not a common thing, but it's a festival in the making, a spiritual convergence, a sign that the grove still thrives. Newborns come once every few years, sometimes once a decade. Each one is a gift from the dream, a renewal of purpose, a continuation of song. This moment under different stars would be cause for feasting and dance, for naming songs, windpipes, root wine, laughing masks, but there's no laughter here. The child is lifted gently into the air. She doesn't cry, she doesn't wail. She's utterly silent. Her fur is a deep violet, unlike any seen in memory. A rare hue, unclaimed by any season. No flush of spring, no blaze of autumn, no frost of winter, no summer's gold. And across her back, silver specks glow, not like birthmarks, more like constellations, tiny stars caught in twilight fur, flickering like dream fire. The light dances across her brow, illuminating the hush, and then crash! A midwife's bowl of blessed water shatters onto the stone floor beside her. The midwife and the spirit seer, Naivara, stares. Face pale, her lips tremble. No season. Not spring, nor summer, nor frost of winter. An elder, horns grown, winding and antler-like, his robes heavy with bone charms, draws backward, fear in his eyes. He draws a mark of ash across his chest and brow. Elder Tharival Nightbreeze, a ritualist from the Telesh conclave, raises his hand. His voice is dry as frost. His pale blue eyes unreadable. Born beneath the hollow sky. No moon rose last night. No, the dream stirs too strongly. This is not natural. A slow groan echoes across the grove. Not sound, but presence. The glow of the spirit tree dims just slightly, as if it leans down, listens, or judges. All voices fall silent. Not even the wind moves. The moss muffles the sounds. The glow of the glow of the grove, once warm and vibrant, has gone still. No bird song, no rustle of squirrels in the branches. Just the soft bioluminescence of roots and the whispers beneath the breaths of the elders. This should be celebration. A new satyr born beneath the boughs of a spirit tree is a divine occasion, a blessing not just to the parents but to the entire grove. Life renewed, the cycle unbroken, but this is not that. Elder Mayrel Amakir, a high-ranked lawkeeper of the Kaleth conclave, speaks first. His bark-wrapped horns and red amber mantle denote an autumn-born sage, often cautious and steeped in tradition. We are told the dream touches every newborn satyr, but not like this. The stars didn't bless her, they bled into her. I saw it. Those motes don't shine, they shimmer like an old memory. And he turns to the spirit tree. Even the tree dims. That is not celebration, that is warning. Another elder, Saliquail Moonbrook, a spring-born herbalist from the Caerwyn conclave, steps forward. His voice is softer but carries strength. Her voice is softer but carries the strength like growing vines. Now every bloom looks strange at first until it finds the sun. She has not cried, not once. That is not a flaw, that is focus. Presence. I have seen stillborns, but she is not one. And she gestures to the child's unflickering gaze. You see, she listens. Another elder, Tharival, comes forward. Born without season under the hollow sky, with the dream already awakened her. She is dream-born, spirit-struck. And do you know what that portends? The nightmare preys on those too near to the veil. She is too young to be so deep in the dream. We should bind her aura, seal it before it leaks. Naivara picks up a fragment of the bowl she has dropped, and whispers prayers to Armanu. The air grows heavy. The child stares skyward, calm but curious. One hand reaching towards the spirit tree, and a small branch dips ever so slightly in return. A few elders murmur. The branch may have moved, or the wind stirred, or they seem unsure. Etheria. The dream shifts slightly around you, memories beginning to blend with instinct. The spirit tree is listening, its roots twitch faintly against the response to emotional weights, and you can feel it. The dream is deciding now in this how this moment will be remembered, and if you don't nudge it soon, it may remember fear. The fear of the unknown. The elders are preparing to deliberate. Meryl steps towards the child to mark her brow with an ash-warding sigil, a symbol of a contained threat. What do you wish to do? How might you steer this dream?
Oh boy. So she's about to be marked and imprisoned, more or less, or her potential?
A marking of you are an other, not yet ready for full integration into society yet. Not until you're older.
Fuck you, dude. That's not cool. Can I interact with anything in this dream?
You could. It depends on what you would, how you would justify an interaction. You could roll, say, insight. Maybe a religion or a persuasion, performance. It depends on how you wish to justify influencing the dream here.
Allow me to rephrase. Can I be seen or witnessed? Am I quote unquote corporeal here?
You are not corporeal. You are unseen, but you can. You feel you can influence the dream here somehow. You might be able to influence their decisions.
And they're about to take some what to mark her?
Some ash in a bowl, just to sort of ritualistically mark her forehead.
Can I try something?
What would you like to try?
I don't know if I'll be able to influence this, but as she goes to basically grab ash out of the bowl and mark it, is there a way I could manifest it shattering?
Ooh, okay. What skill would you like to try and justify using this with?
That's a really good question. Let me get my sheet up since I can't just click on myself.
Don't forget E exists.
E?
E.
E.
Yeah, you get a little sidebar when you hit E.
Oh, not on this one.
Oh, right, because you changed. Yeah,
you're.
Got it.
What I could do, I'll just drag Etheria's token on there. There we go.
I think I know what I'd like to do.
Sure.
I'm actually hearing animal sounds and things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I attempt to use animal handling and maybe persuade some little creature of nature to come up and disrupt the bowl?
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, it's night. Is it night in this vision?
It is night. A starless night.
Oh.
A moonless night, but night nonetheless.
Oh. Fucking get that shit struck by an owl.
Alright, go ahead and roll me an animal handling check.
Give me something good. Don't make me use my inspiration.
Oh, there you
go.
Something good, he says, critting.
Please describe this to me. How does this happen? You see Mayrel, the hang on. Who I've forgotten my own characters. Who is Mayrel? There we go. Elder Mayrel Amakir, the high-ranking lawkeeper of the Keleth Conclave. How does this happen? How does the bowl fall out of Mayrel's hands as he approaches?
Keep it quite simple. There is just a call out, the hoot of an owl from the night, the only sound made as it silently drifts down. And as Mayrel would go to grab this fingerful to mark the forehead, the owl just will perch at the arm and peck at the fingers holding the bowl, biting away the thumb, causing it to drop.
He immediately retracts, blood seeping from the wound on his thumb. The bowl shatters across the ground. Mayrel pauses mid-gesture as he looks upon the owl perched upon him. Everyone else looks to him as well.
Nothing aggressive, the owl just stares.
There is an immediate recognition of some sort of sign here, as your presence ripples through the dream, unseen, but certainly not unfelt. A breeze stirs through the elders' robes, across their hair, across their manes, and the spirit tree brightens just a flicker in response. Nyvira, the spirit seer, gasps as she holds the child higher a bit, with an unspoken look to everyone else, as the owl flutters off for a moment, perches on a nearby branch to oversee the entire situation. She is not too near the veil. She is of it. And still she came through whole. Our Manu teaches flow with life's currents. This child flows from somewhere deeper. And she looks up to the owl. Salaquail bows her head. Tharavel lowers his gaze. Mayrel hesitates and then murmurs, "Of the grove and watched by the roots then." And she kind of brushes aside the ash from her hoof. The mood shifts. No celebration yet, but the elders no longer fear, not allowed. The dream remembers possibility instead of fear. Some elders have stepped back. One or two were swayed by the earlier interruption. But some of that fear still lingers in them, you sense. The child has not been named yet. This is a moment where she will either be honoured with a name or branded with one rooted in fear, an omen name. Tharavel steps forward again. Regardless, a name must be given. Even spirits demand names. If we delay, we invite other powers to take interest or ownership. Then we must name her honestly. Mark her difference, not hide from it, says Mayrel. It's then that Enna Goldpetal steps up. A gentle and devout springborn elder of the Caerwyn Conclave speaks hesitantly. She is the youngest of the council, but her heart is open. But must it be a name of sorrow or omen? Can we not choose something gentle, something of the grove, perhaps? We name what we see, Enna, says Tharavel. Hollow-born, star-touched, unseasoned. Anything else invites blindness. A stone bowl is passed. Traditionally, it holds spring petals, symbols, and offerings by the elders as naming omens. It remains mostly empty. No true name has yet been chosen, and yet the child awaits. And at this point, you can feel the tension thicken. The dream is coalescing. If no name is chosen soon, then the memory will solidify as one of division. Should you ensure that the child receives a name that honours her mystery instead of condemning, stumbling on words, instead of condemning it, you must act.
Send you a quick little message for clarification.
Oh, gotcha. It does. Dusk-rooted.
That makes sense. Aha. I shall be sneaky. I would like to use my stealth skill and place one of those
Okay.
in the naming bowl.
Gotcha. Go ahead and make me a stealth check. A stealth check or sleight of hand, your choice.
Gee, I
was
wonder
gonna
what he's
say-
gonna.
I'm good at these!
Alright, 28. Okay. There's that sudden flutter of wind. There's a pale blue root. Suddenly seems to appear within the bowl out of nowhere. And it was no elder put it in the bowl. It almost seems as though the spirit tree has offered it. There's a few gasps and a step forward. A voice steady despite her fear. And she plucks this silvery bluish root from the bowl. Curious. This is Enna Goldpetal. The tree has spoken. Let the child be named Vadmia. It means dusk-rooted in the old tongue. Not born from shadow, but from balance. From the moment between day and night. Mayrel nods slowly. Tharavel grits his teeth but says nothing. Naivara cradles the child, and you sense the dream shivers with a warm ripple, and a single branch lowers gently above the child, brushing her forehead. Perhaps it was wind, perhaps it was the spirit tree itself. But regardless, the name is chosen, and it is remembered. And it's at that moment the grove falls utterly silent, not a wind, not a breath, and from the boughs beyond the grove a low, verdant mist pours forward, light heavy, with smelling faintly of citrus and wild herbs, and a sorry, just in chat there. A silhouette begins to form, massive in size. Emerald scales catch and scatter the Phalite. Then her eyes appear, twin orbs of dew-lit jade, ancient and unwavering. The first guardian of this grove, and a sacred protector of the Ebonwood, one of many, descends with neither roar nor warning. Her coils slide between the tree trunks with reverent slowness, and the elders fall to their knees. Even Tharival does not speak. The ancient emerald dragon lowers her head, towering above the birth circle, and breathes a single soft breath over the infant. Her silver motes blaze to life. The dragon does not speak. She waits and watches. But one voice dares to break the silence. Tharival. Quietly, almost trembling, he says, "Even the warden must sense it. The child glows too brightly, too soon, too strong. The dream stirs around her like a storm." His tone is not overtly hostile, but full of implication, fear masking his caution. The others look to him and to the warden. Still, the warden says nothing. You sense the dream around you beginning to solidify. If the dragon's silence is interpreted as condemnation, this moment may become one of spiritual exile. The silence has stretched for too long. Someone must frame it. And right now, Tharival is the only one doing so. What do you do?
Tharival is the only one doing what? I'm sorry, to be totally clear.
He is the only one speaking aloud and framing this situation. As he says, even the warden must sense it. The child glows too brightly, too soon, too strong. The dream stirs around her like a storm.
I wanted to make sure I got that right.
To be shot by a Negro.
Yeah. Listen, I can't just murder a spirit vision of an elder.
Just a second, this fucking there, no more problems.
Cancer wounds.
One-time murder is not viable.
I mean, in the short term,
Short term,
yeah.
yes.
Long term, there's no one left to
no.
kill. Motivating others to be able to speak, right? I don't necessarily just want to silence his perspective, but give the option for others to speak. What could I do?
I'm thinking. My brain was busy with racism real quick, but
Yeah.
Okay.
dragon racism for the recording sake.
Ha
I don't know, man.
Ooh.
I mean, if you were
Instantly,
asking the crowd, I do have potential.
Yeah. Please tell me your thought before I commit to mine.
There's two aspects. You can condemn him, or you can bolster others, or you can do both. There's a lot to say that, like, he's already been attacked by a fucking owl. Like, but that still didn't stop him from voicing grumpy old asshole elder. You can do. You said it's a starless and moonless night, Jenner.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe. My second thing. What if? Or sorry. So you can condemn him, which I think necessarily should, because there's something to be said. Like, they reacted very strongly to the spirit tree and nature being like, "Nah, this guy's stupid. Ignore what he said when you sent the owl down." You can also, like I said, bolster others, like cast a fairy fire on them so they're illuminated, like the one whose voice, or illuminate Vadmia, or you know, something to kind of show like, hey, you know, the tree or nature's on your side when you say, hey, maybe we should just treat her like a normal person. So I would probably suggest a mixture of the two, condemnation as well as condoning what the others have said, but that's me.
No, that's very good. That's something. That's something I was gonna actually do. So that's really good, and you might appreciate this as well. Piggybacking off of that, thaumaturgy.
Mm-hmm.
To create a small sound, like the whisper of a voice, an echo. The words, "Beauty in every bloom."
Ah, okay. Because you quoted something directly from a central aspect of Sata lore here, because you've studied up on this, it seems. I'll lower the DC.
Yes.
Or at least, tell you what, I'll give you advantage on this.
Trying to think what I would, how would I convey that?
It
Maybe
could
I have
be,
to
say,
do a spell check to make the thaumaturgy heard.
You could do that. You could also do, say, a persuasion check, perhaps a performance check.
As a negative charisma Casper, I could if you want.
Yeah,
just
fair.
know it's more likely to fail.
Yeah, this is entirely what you feel is justified here.
That
This
was
is
a stealth
me.
check to get behind one of the people and whisper directly into their ear.
Yeah.
Can I do the same thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
look with them.
Yes, but I'll say it'll be a higher DC to do so.
Buddy, with my stealth,
You never know.
it's the difference of a +3 or a +13.
Yeah.
Raise the difficulty. That's an option that is more suited to what she can do. I'm trying to be creative here and not just brute force with the same rolls.
Yeah. The reason I'm saying yes, but is because you are using the same roll again. The DC of this will increase a bit.
You know what? Fuck it. That's a really cool contribution, and I'll go with what Avon says. I'll do that, and I'll one-up it. I'll whisper that, and take one of my little pink blooms, if it can even be seen, and place it in what little tufts of hair she has.
Ooh, okay. So
And there we go.
there's no hair
we'll
to there is no hair to put the bloom in, but you can certainly do
Tuck it
that.
behind an ear.
Yeah. There's this moment of quiet as everyone's attention is currently focused on the warden right now, or looking down at the ground in reverence towards her. But then someone notices something. There's Enna. Enna speaks up. Look. Look at this. She kind of gestures to Tharival next to her, who notices a bloom seems to suddenly sort of drift right into the nook of her ear. A tiny, tiny little pointed ear. The dream shimmers. The air becomes warmer, lighter. The elder, one of the elders, Meirel, steps forward, kind of kneels beside the child. This is a sign. She looks up to the warden. She watches not to warn us, but to claim her. This child is not of hollow sky, but of root and breath. She is of the cycle. She kind of plucks the small bloom from the nook of her ear, examines it closely, smiles, and puts it back. And with an exhale like wind in spring leaves, she rises, turns, the dragon does, and vanishes into the trees. And as the dragon departs, New saplings sprout from the edge of the spring. The elders are silent, and then, one by one, they rise, no longer afraid. The dream exhales. The light softens, casting gold throughout the branches. The massive roots hum and warp, a warm, deep frequency like the purring of a giant sleeping beast. The spirit tree aglow with moonless reverence watches in silence. To see young Vardmir again. She sits you see young Vardmir again. She sits cross-legged in the soil, dirt smeared across her knees, flowers woven haphazardly into her violet curls. One of her... She seems to be illuminating a small spark of magic in her hand, sort of playing with it early in her toddling years. Above her, a massive green eye, slitted but soft, gazes down through a curtain of leaves. The warden remains, unseen by all but the dream. She's not lost. Vardmir was never lost. She was watched. And with that, the memory releases you. Your senses return like a breath after cold water. In the real world, you feel warmth at your side. You see Vardmir's body is still sleeping, glowing with this faint light. A silvery shimmer rests in the centre of her chest, a mark of being remembered. But this is only the first time, only the first shadow brought into light. Other memories remain, further memories, deeper wounds, buried truths waiting. To bring her home, you'll need to walk deeper into the dream, but that will take time. But you've set her on the right path.
And I am back to consciousness?
You are back to consciousness. And you can all feel free to take a long rest.
Hooray!
Vellum chooses
Huzzah.
to sleep. So
The end. Jesus Christ,
So-
Spice.
so Etheria wakes up, yes, eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Well, did you fix whatever was wrong?
It cannot all be fixed in just one sleep. But she starts her journey with a happy beginning.
Is she okay?
She'll look at her sleeping. It's fair to think she'll be okay for now.
For now, but given time, other dreams may surface, and those close to her may need to put those two on the right path.
For the immediate time, yes. She will dream again. She will twitch and writhe and face her own self. when that time comes, I will do this again. For now, she's okay. For now, she should be able to be moved.
Okay. Okay.
It seems fair to think that at this point we can move her because she's no longer immediately critical.
You can move her, yes.
Okay.
Melon's still very sort of tentative. Like, he didn't see any of this shit. All he saw was Etheria fall asleep for like 8 hours and then say everything's okay for now. So he's still being very.
And your daughter's
genuinely
glowing
careful.
silver.
Oh yeah, the glowing part is weird. That's why he's worried. But
It's like a faint, very, very, very faint silver within the chest.
as he starts to sort of gently move Vladimir, he just sort of pauses like, and that's nothing to worry about. And he gestures towards the glowing.
That means she's remembering who she is. It's not a worry.
Damn, I was about to say something, then the burp crawled its way up my fucking throat. Well, sure. No matter what she finds, or who she ends up being, she's always gonna be my daughter. And at that point, he's gonna sort of like maybe he'll get like he'll repurpose a sack to like make a like a what do you call it, like a fucking God, I had the word like 2 minutes ago.
Hammock?
Basically, like a
Hammock?
little hammock that is tied to him, so like she's all comfy.
Oh,
and
like
small.
the
Baby Bjorn or whatever it's called.
Something like that.
yeah, the little baby slings.
Yeah, like a sling. That's it.
But you're carrying somebody that's like 11.
Yeah, you know she's.
I've
jumpy.
seen people use those kind of things to carry their fat ass cats, so
Yeah.
She-
She's
bigger
like
than a
in.
cat.
She's like all curled up. It's fine.
Yeah.
So just like it'll probably ruin the bag, but fuck it. I'm just gonna take a spare sack that I have and just like tear it up and make a little hammock, so we can just carry her around without worry. Right. Well. Okay, Moo. We did what we came to do. Let's find Grunka and get the hell out of here.
oh no, we found Bronco.
Yeah, no, we decided to rest here.
Yeah, it was easier than, you two were doing something and
Yeah, you've been just sitting there kneeling by those two for like 8 hours.
yeah, so no sense
Oh.
disturbing you.
Yeah, there's like
Okay.
like a paused look of confusion. Like it's like, oh right, okay, that did the time go somewhere? Did not realize whatsoever that it had been that long.
Your
Is-
face kind of waves from like way over here and be like, hello, hello.
Oh, good. You're alright. Well, you're not dead. That's why am I? That's not targeting. Why can't I move myself?
Let's get right
Okay,
around.
how do you
There are
get
light
up?
switches around here? This place is so dark.
Why can't I drag
You
myself?
open your
in?
token, and then there should be a your left right click on your token, and there should be like a little 0 elevation.
No, this was more remarking on the fact that this entire fucking room is dark. Too damn
I
dark.
can't, 30, I have to get 30.
Too damn
about 30
dark.
feet.
I'm still waiting to pick up the fucking magic items stuck about.
So loot hungry.
It's not that I'm loot hungry. I want to pick them up so I can actually cast Identify on them.
There's a few I want to
Also-
identify.
Hey Janner,
Mhm.
since we're not really going to be having combat or anything like here, can you remove the line of sight shadows so we can actually see what this entire place looks like?
Sure.
lag.
Hang on. Hang
A
on.
lot, yeah.
I tried moving and it was strenuous at best. That's one good thing about us leaving this place and never coming back. We won't
Right.
have to deal with
I
the
can't
lag.
pick shit up. I can't pick shit up.
I'll give it a second. Jenner's futzing with the whatchamacallits. Yeah, the Theater of the Mind.
There we go.
Velum's gonna carefully make his way down the Grunker. What sort of state is he in? Like, he's out of long rest. Like, is he like still visually a little battered and such, or is he looking okay?
Nah, it's looking pretty fine now. Speaking of it, I took him back to vibes.
They didn't hurt you or do anything fucked up with you today.
What did I remember?
Sorry about it.
Hey, turn him up. There we
Okay,
go.
I understand.
Something got probed.
Yeah,
Just
Plant. plans in places I didn't even know I had.
Is that seriously what it is?
No,
Okay.
he's just, you know, he just know. Okay, I don't remember much.
Yeah, from what we know, they did some kind of fucking mind magic on you, and I'm just glad to have you back, buddy.
Yeah. Everything's been okay.
Well, no, but what else is new? How's Eld looking?
Tanner, how is it looking now that
Always seen better days.
Let's see here.
I should probably do a long rest as well.
You can see there is a faint sort of crack down the center of the handle. It, given likely its power, it has withstood the vast brunt of the force that was attempting to consume it. But it's likely going to need some small repairs. But you know someone who is very good at repairing, or at least creating magic items.
Stealing my line.
In fact, a couple of people.
So... X is broken.
Yeah, can you come take a look at this thing? It's looking a little chipped.
I'll have a look at it once we get out of here in better lighting.
Yeah, fair. This place fucking sucks.
You're just gonna look around at all the lush flowers and leaves and be like, okay.
This place sucks. It's beautiful.
Yeah. It's gonna be
There you
like,
go. I've gone ahead and made Nazara lootable
You
there.
didn't see it before.
no.
But where is Nazara stuff at again?
Somewhere down here.
Body.
Like the remains of it. Yeah, there it is. There it is.
What is over there?
Yeah,
There
I'll
you
go
go.
over there.
That should be lootable as well.
Right, everyone, get what you need in, do what you need to, and take anything that ain't nailed down. We're leaving soon.
This is gonna do a whistle, be like, Velum, there's some of that fancy metal you made into your spear over here.
Oh, right, I should probably come pick that up. I say, trying to drag myself across the floor, it taking about 10 seconds.
7:30, 8 o'clock.
I let
Dragon
go.
Bad me alone.
There we go. It took like 5 seconds to get over there when I let go of the mouse. Yoink.
I'm gonna give you these two here.
This whole map is falling apart.
Yeah, but it's fucking beautiful.
It is.
That fucking reality is falling apart gif is more very relevant to this map. I'm getting warning pop-ups, I'm getting pile errors. Look at all that loot. I'll leave the rest of the looting to you guys because I don't want to move around. Just assume that Vellum went towards them. In fact, Vellum's probably gonna go deal with something because he did leave a tied up person somewhere. We could do it on the way out, rather than probably a bad idea to go by yourself, even though everything's dispatched.
So you're gonna be a man of your word then.
Well, yeah, it's Vellum. He's always a man of his word.
Like promising not to get into trouble.
Well, him
But
getting
they're
into
doing
trouble
magical.
and trouble finding him are two very different things.
Like as they also not stepping on magic traps.
I haven't done that in years.
Okay.
Literally
I almost got shanked because of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Says the
All it
person
takes is
who-
one threat of a shank, and it does, it does wonders. But yeah, Jenner.
Mhm.
Vellum's gonna be waiting by the door for everyone to do what they need to, because he doesn't feel up to it. His focus is obviously elsewhere. But
Alright, I'll just go and I'll just
based
drag it
on
over.
the surround. Well, I didn't need you to. Oh God, no, the leg. I was just gonna ask a question. Theater of the mind. So has the quote unquote purity of this chamber spread down the hall, or is it just isolated to this chamber?
You can see. Whoops.
The door closing on me. Apparently.
You can see. It looks like it is spreading. Very, very gradually, though. But it is spreading, and is likely to continue to spread over the coming weeks, given the nightmares no longer present. There is
Well,
also a kind of another blocked off wall of roots here.
Well, Vellum will still wait for everyone. Because, gotta be safe.
This
So,
lag is so fucking bad.
do we want to just drag all the lootables into one place? Didn't I loot that fucking sun metal? I swear I did. Or did it give me an error and say, no, you can't?
It might
you
just
can
be
loot it.
leaving the pile.
Image.
Yes,
Maybe.
Yeah.
there you go.
Okay. Well, I guess
I'm gonna
once
try and
everyone's done looting and getting the things they need,
Yeah, let me move.
for
Oh,
the
wait,
sake of
I can go-
expediency, Jenner, we're obviously looting everything that's around.
Yep,
so,
gotcha.
Let us know when that's happened. Like, just give us whatever's there, or
Yeah,
put
yeah.
the piles in one place.
We'll do.
I'm just gonna grab it here. I can easily just
Yeah.
do it.
Anything that's left on the map, I'll go ahead and just give out to the game.
Yeah, because it's gonna take, with all the chug, it's gonna take us longer to look around
Yeah.
and get things.
Eh.
Because bear in mind, we still got a whole other room of crates to loot on the way out and stuff to do.
Crates and a library that I want to fucking loot the shit out
The
of.
Gremlinify, yeah. Oh man, unidentified remains.
And there's a door here.
Yeah, that was one we ignored because we kind of just guessed the right direction,
Come
I think.
on.
or something.
Stop opening up. Jesus. Yo, please.
I want to go look in the
There we
door,
go.
but the chug.
Oh hey, the glowing flowers are lootable?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the flowers are lootable. I just couldn't. The chug. Oh my god.
Yeah, Jenna's gonna move everything into one place, so it's a bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So what's everyone here in this this corridor doing? You
Mine's
just
getting-
headed back up.
I am curious what's in this room, but I'm also curious what the evil Venus flytrap looks like now in that other room we passed.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's do a quick, breach and clear of this room, make sure it's kosher and doesn't have loot in it, and then just make our way up to the Venus flytrap.
All right.
Somebody go open it. I don't want to drag myself. It's worse for me because I'm also carrying another pog with me.
I got it.
Time. Yeah, time, by the way.
We've got half an
Yep.
hour.
No, we got like. Oh, I know we do. Yeah, I was thought
Yeah.
you said
It's
50.
We
Daylight
don't end
savings
at
time,
half
dude.
hour.
Gosh, so
I can't wait.
eager to end the game.
Daylight
Fall
saving.
asleep. Yeah, no, I thought it
but
said,
if you-
I thought it said 55, not 25. Sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You're sick.
It's fine.
No,
If you're tired,
I'm
I
radical.
want to say you can just, you know,
I assume
If
it's
you need to
mainly
step
gonna be
away.
looting. I assume it's mainly gonna be a bunch of looting now.
I suspect looting and maybe some short roleplay interactions, but
Yeah.
if you feel like you really need the rest, I'm not opposed to you going. If you feel like you have to, up to you.
All right, so
Because
Oh.
Brida will offer that whenever we're done in here, she can use transport via plants and get us back to wherever we want to go that we've been before.
Oh, that would work. That means we don't have to do so much trekking to get back to the wagon.
Yeah. We can
Yep.
just go back to the wagon instantly.
Nice.
all right then.
We could dip outside and do that, maybe.
So you want to open this door, yeah?
Yes.
Not like
Okay.
that says me.
I'll just say you can go ahead and roll me a spellcasting check. DC is going to be significantly lower because what you've managed to achieve here.
Yeah, there's nothing really stopping us from going places. It's just like, oh, here's some Rudy roots. Normal old Rudy roots.
All right.
That gets tired.
You begin to weave your magic, and almost as if singing in tune with it, you can feel the essence of the natural world, attempting to weave its nature with your arcane magic, almost as if parting and welcoming you. The roots themselves fall away.
All right. Is there any loot in there?
What am I seeing?
You see. Oh, hang on. Yes. You see what step into that chamber. You can see the nature magic hasn't quite wholly made its way into this chamber just yet. The remnants of the nightmare still sort of linger here, but without the nightmare's presence to sustain it, you can see slowly petals are starting to wither away from their red flowers. But at the centre of this room, you can see this strange organic structure that rises from the ground. This thorny stalk that unfolds into this grotesque sort of 5-foot-tall Venus flytrap-like formation. And its jagged fangs, quote-unquote, glisten faintly, angled inwards and subtly twitching. It almost sort of leans as though inviting attention. Some bioluminescent cilia undulate and squirm nearby. There's it almost looks like an organic lectern.
See, slowly take a step back. Yeah, no.
And what's your passive investigation check, actually?
Let me double check. 23.
For sight?
It's investigation using.
Oh, you've got your. Is that the minute seeing?
I think. Let me double check if I have them.
Yeah,
on.
double check that.
Oh, I did have them on.
Oh, okay then. So,
Require attunement if I recall.
all right. So in that aspect, you do notice as you turn, something on the far wall catches your attention through your dark vision. Something buried within a dense network of thick, writhing roots. A faintly glowing cocoon around here. The very, very far end of the wall. something pulsing faintly as if alive. And what you see with your absurd passive investigation is something partially visible, a flat spherical object about 3 inches in diameter. And the roots clutch it tightly, kind of keeping it secure.
Just as she's about to turn away and notices that, she just looks backwards and just says, I see something that one of the roots have secure and does not want to let go in the very back room, just staring straight at it from the door. I think someone strong might should try and go and get it.
Yeah, we do not want any loose ends. Liska, do you think you could? I sort of like gestures to the hammocked Vladimir he's carrying. You maybe go handle that. Cheers.
Let me. I really hate when this sheet comes.
We'll get out of this map eventually, guys.
So what? Do you just want Liska to pick up?
Something on the far end of the wall here. Dajar points out, now that the light is illuminating the room, you can all see this 3-inch diameter sort of flattened disc-like object. Almost, it's hard to call it fleshy, but it looks like it's crafted from tightly bound vines, and it in and of itself is bound up in roots and vines as well, sort of pulsating faintly.
I guess Liska, given that no one said it was dangerous to do, is gonna go and take it off the wall.
Alright.
What could go wrong?
I mean, no one told her not to. You actively said, hey, go take that.
Yeah, Dajar
Okay.
said, hey, there's a thing here.
Go ahead and just make me an athletics check, please.
Hey.
I tell you what, when I took the long rest, none of my potions fell off. I
Oh.
do not have
I'll go ahead and
Frost Giant Strength.
just delete those then.
Yeah, I'll take mine off as well.
Oh, and until you...
Nightmare's Touch drop off?
Yes, it does drop off. You can all feel free to delete that. As you feel that sense of the nightmare fading from the back of your minds. As it's no longer present here.
So what was it you needed me to do? Athletics?
Yes, please.
And I'm trying to take it off the wall, yes?
Yeah, just try to take it off the wall. Rip it.
I want to use a crowbar to get advantage.
All right, you ripping the vines away with the crowbar, getting some leverage behind the disc, trying to. The 23, yeah, easy to do. You can go ahead and
Best objects in the game.
you can go ahead and loot that then.
At this point, we should get her like an adamantine crowbar.
And as you pry it away from the wall, you do see what looks like a sliver between, like, straight through the center of the disc before it opens into an eyeball.
There it.
Yeah, and Liska's going to, like, flip it so the eye is facing away from her. So it's facing back to the wall. There's an eye on it.
Oh. Oh, I was not aware.
Do we want to break it, or...?
Question, Jenner. When I saw the eye, did it look like any did it look like a dragon's eye? Did it look like a horse eye or a goat eye with like the horizontal slits? Like,
Yeah, go ahead and make me a nature check.
how much about those?
This
She was so spooked by it.
does not look like any eye you're familiar with. Now, you are familiar with dragon eyes. You've, for memory's sake, you've experienced them up quite closely before.
many times.
This is definitely not a dragon eye. That is fair to say. But what it could be, you're not sure.
Liska's going to so she turns and faces towards the wall, and then she's going to kind of like tilt it, just kind of to peek over to see if the eye's still open. Like, is the eye still open and is it looking around, or did it open up and then close?
The eye is open and it's looking around the chamber. Very briefly before it kind of settles into itself in a just constant stare at the wall, a fixed position.
Right. Liska's going to. She's going to get. How big across is this eye disc?
About 3 inches in diameter. It's not very large.
Oh. I thought it was like a dinner plate or larger. Okay,
No.
like a trash can. Okay, it's just a tiny little fucking eye. All right.
Poke it.
Close.
I was about
Liska's
to say
going.
poke it.
Yeah,
in
Liska's
the eye.
going to kind of settle it, or she's going to.
Oh no, hang on, I've accidentally refreshed. Rip.
That's fine. She's going to like hold it so it's facing in towards the palm of her hand.
Mm-hmm.
Then she's going to walk back.
You can feel the sort of slimy glassiness of the eye against your palm.
I mean, that's fine. She's wearing gloves.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
Gauntlets to be specific. So, but yeah,
Always
she's
wear
gonna.
protective gear.
Yeah, she's gonna walk back. It's like, there's like, look, and she's going to kind of angle it sideways so they can see the eye from the side. There's an eye. I do not know what it sees or who sees through it. It was looking around at first, like it was looking for something, and then it just kind of started staring straight forward.
It's all, the disc is all fleshy, right, Jenny? That's how you describe it.
It's like it's fleshy as in made from organic matter, like it's made from strangely fleshy roots, if that's the best description I can kind of come up with it.
That's
Also known
That's
as arteries and
weird.
veins.
ooh.
That's nasty.
Why would you put that there? You know what? I'll question that later.
Do we want to get rid of it? Do we want to? I mean, it don't look good.
I have a cloth, so I could just put it in to a bag. I have a pouch. Not being used anymore.
Right. Well, figure out what the hell it is when we're out of here and get rid of it if you have to. Don't know what kind of fucked up shit she was carrying.
Yeah, here she hands. Let's get the pouch, so she just drop it in there.
Let's see, just gonna do so.
Right, and cinch it up.
Right, shall we?
Into the bag. Yes, let's go back topside, because I want to just dump everything from that library into my portable hole.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, you lot probably want to stop off to that storeroom, and I gotta make a stop on the way out as well. Why are we moving? Just take us to the map.
What was this
Well, I wanna.
this room?
Yeah, are we
Just to
moving?
make
Are
sure.
you moving us, Jenner? What's happening?
Oh, oh no, hang
Banner's
on.
moving.
I'm in a wall.
Hang on.
I've been eaten by the tree. Yeah, I
What's
think
moving us?
sorry, I think Avon, you wanted to take a look at the Venus flytrap thing on the way out.
Yeah.
Oh no,
See if there's-
how do I cancel movement? I can't cancel movement. Oh
Roll
no.
Z usually, but you've done so much of it.
This guy.
This DM.
My face is emerging from the wall.
Ghost movement. Ghost movement.
You tried moving everyone while we were spaced out. That's the problem.
Into
Yeah.
the darkness.
Okay, so the Venus flytrap thing that was over here, I think. What state? You can use theater of the mind. What state is it in?
It looks like it's sagging. It still looks kind of red, fleshy, sort of pustulous, but it looks like it's sagged, and is no longer moving.
Gross. Get me
Wow,
the fuck
that
off
took
this
a
map.
while.
Get me off this map.
Get me out of here. Get me out of here.
I don't know what I gotta do to transition map, but make it happen.
Me and my daughter, we don't like it here. Take us away.
Please fuck, get us out of here.
Please.
Yeah, because we got a couple of stragglers to deal with on the way out.
All right.
Sweet freedom.
Ah, the flash.
Not the kind of flash you wanted, huh?
No, I saw red.
Sal's got like all of those back now.
They're tender.
Liska, did you want to look at the Venus flytrap?
Well, yeah, but you said like it was dead and wilted. Like, is there anything else in the room? Is it like?
Ah, gotcha. You do see a few sort of cilia are sort of gradually wilting as well. Everything in this room looks like it is presumably wilting as well. There doesn't seem to be much else here beyond presumably the dying plant.
Liska's going to get her back out, long distance pokey stick,
Mhm.
and just kind of poke and prod it to see if it's actually dead, like if it's responding to anything.
If it's stable enough.
So you poke, prod, kind of stab it a moment. There is the occasional twitch of something akin to like a rigor mortis, or like an instinctual reaction, but beyond that,
The twitches of the nervous system.
yeah.
Yeah, Liska's going to look to see, like, she's just going to do a quick glance, like, in its, I guess, body, quote unquote, like maybe around it to see if they're, like, if they happen to feed an adventure or something to it that had magical items that wouldn't be dissolved in plant juices.
Go ahead and I'll say, make me either survival, nature, or investigation check. 25. There's nothing about this which you could presume to be like an internal body, if you will, an internal like digestive system. Whatever function this plant is meant to service is outwardly it is meant to give something rather than consume.
Guess this is maybe like the landing. This is a player. Liska wouldn't know about this or wouldn't think about that. I guess it's like the landing pad of one of those teleportation plants. I don't know. Anyway, Liska kind of just gives a shrug, starts, and catches back up to the group.
All right then. I'll just.
Oh no, sorry. I was just realizing, like, we had the bulb, but if the bulb, would this bulb work as a?
With the nightmare no longer present, it is very easy to surge your magic reader through this plant in order to connect the two stems and allow the teleportation to work.
It would be nice if I could move out of the flower.
This goes on it.
You can use the arrow keys to move if you're under someone. Or you can just keep screaming at Jenner to move people that get stuck under Aliska.
Yeah, but it's more fun if we get to scream at Janner.
Player DM interaction.
Also, yeah, you should probably take away all the debuffs on Vadmir.
Yeah.
She is still prone and unconscious.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
I'm trying.
I'm trying.
Okay, so I'm going to try and do something similar here with this door, Jajar. Black Spots, are you muted?
Oh yeah, I was muted. Sorry,
There you
I
go.
was talking. Did this door reclose itself after we opened it last time?
Oh, sorry, my bad. There we go.
I was like, I'm sure we opened this. Right, time to start looting.
Alright, what's everyone else doing here? I'll also remove the walls as well.
Currently, just getting ready to kind of leave.
Yeah, we're making our way back down to the main entry area where all the branches were, because there's the storeroom we didn't really thoroughly go through, and those two people we left unconscious and tied up. Question, Jenner, is there like a way to turn off this like cover thing that happens when I'm dragging? I remember that being a problem before, and it might be what's causing my lag now.
The cover?
Yeah, when I drag things, anything that gives cover has like a hover over it of like it gives cover, and it's got measurements, so it's constantly updating measurements as I'm dragging, which might be what's causing my lag.
I think that
We can talk about it afterwards.
yeah. Okay.
So, is the south the way back?
It would be the way you came back through, yeah.
Okay. Well, obviously I'm not going by myself. Put myself over there to show I'm ready.
I'm just double checking these last few parts because remember that there were some. Yeah.
Check
Some
those
things
rooms,
here
loot
we
them
could
if there's
take.
anything good.
There's Lumenstone lanterns, so I'm taking those.
Always good to have space.
Now I just need to have the GM be connected so I can do it.
I am connected. I'm right here.
It's that's just an error it gives you. It did that with the
Yeah,
Sun metal I picked up.
you take it. It's just it just does that for some dumbass reason.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Sorry, we didn't do much. We didn't do testing yesterday, Jenner. I was dog sitting, so I got unexpectedly waylaid.
Alright, that is all for this room, I believe.
we could just theatre of the mind it and say you've pretty much looted this place clean.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just a case of getting the tangible items in our
Mhm.
inventories. But like, if it's possible, you can just put everything in the place in one container, and then we just
Yeah.
decide who takes what. Yeah.
There's also the fact of us walking around and double checking and just making sure that, you know, the corruption is actually dying.
No surprises waiting for us.
Mm-hmm.
Last thing we want is some kind of malignant seed sitting.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We tried to clear the corruption. Gotcha.
But we missed the spot. Whoops.
So as you are making your way around the remnants of the barrow, it is eerily quiet. You hear no movement. The constant creaking and flexing of roots is no longer present. Neither is that constant heartbeat. The various bioluminescent mushrooms that are sort of giving off their faint glow are starting to fade. Some of the red petals detaching, floating down before you. The nightmare here is dying, and in its place you begin to see, gradually, over time, this place will return to nature eventually.
So, obviously, we're putting everything in this entire place that's lootable in one place afterwards. But
Yep.
We can do that
Vellum-
after session.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said by afterwards. But Vellum is going to go check on the butcher that was tied up and knocked out. Because A, I want my chains back, and B, that's going to be something that needs to be dealt with.
Gotcha.
It has the one that she knew.
There is. Oh,
Liska also has the one she knocked out earlier.
Oh yeah, the dude in front, like he's right in front of the door. So
yeah. So what I'm
trip over him on the way.
what I'm going to do, because it has been a good 8 hours. I'm just going to have them. I'm going to have them roll a couple of strength checks to see if they actually like break out the chains.
Ooh, the warrior has a good chance of it. Kocha, I don't know.
So I'll do
The one I
the.
knocked out was an archer.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I thought he had like a shield and spear or something.
He got murked by Lyria.
Let's see. Nightmare Courtier. I'll have a 2. Nope. Nightmare Courtier is still there. Let's see.
I
Archer.
assume she's conscious.
She's conscious. She is. There is an air of almost malignant frustration across her face.
All right. Well,
Wonder why.
you can't imagine why. It's almost like she's been sat here for 8 hours. But like Vellum will sort of round the corner, giving a wide berth at first, because you know he doesn't know if she's still tied up, but then sees that she is. Right.
Come to
so-
release me from your bindings.
Yeah, sorry it took so long, things are very complicated, but... Well, you can probably guess that the fact I'm still alive, and not plant food, means that, things are done here.
She-
Gonna gauge her reaction to that.
She glares at you silently.
Now look, you were obviously invested in this, even though it was... The one you were following was literally a floating corpse, so, you know, not exactly nature-y, but... Anyway, the way I see it, you got a few options here when I let you go. You can head off after your kin, try and put some kind of similar life together, though not following a crazy bitch who wants to fuck everything up. You could head off on your own into the wilderness and live life as you want. Could even come back with us lot back to civilization and see what you can do with yourself, but it's your choice to make. So at that point he's gonna start like still carefully undoing the chains and then backing off once he has.
Alright, go ahead and just make me a persuasion check.
Sure. Because much as, you know, Vellum's not about to kill a lady just for following some beliefs and being misguided, I don't want her to come back as an antagonist later. Man,
Only
game,
one
can
way
you
to
stop throwing
guarantee
errors
that.
at me? Sorry, there are like 10 errors lagging everything. Oh,
24.
this poor game. It's doing its best.
You see her sort of begin to twitch her fingers as if she's about to cast a spell, and kind of step back. Then she sighs, lets her arm drop, defeated. I just want to leave. You've done enough damage here.
Well, we're never gonna see eye to eye on this, but nothing's gonna stop you from going. Just maybe see this in a different light. And like I said, it's probably dangerous out there, so maybe either find your kin that went on ahead or tag along with us until you can find some safety. No one's gonna do you any harm if I have anything to say about it.
You speak honeyed words, warrior of the sun. But it's people like you who destroy what they don't understand. That is why the likes of us exist. That is why the likes of us have to go from place to place to make our own home.
Let me just give you a little bit of context here. You do know what I am, right?
I do not care what you are.
Now who's the one acting like they speak? You see me just because I'm an invader here, and you don't care about anything else.
Is
And you
that not
think that-
what you are? You came here, destroyed our home.
We are reclaimers, little sister.
Oh, hello,
We come
that's
to
good.
take back of the one who took in the first place. This was not your grove. If you could but look beyond the bloody thorns and vines that you have wrapped yourself in, you'll see the green beauty that is already starting to reclaim what you had taken.
But even
Perhaps
then,
it is
Sorry.
you. Perhaps it is you who needs to realize your role in all of this might not be as guileless as you thought.
and ignoring all of that, besides... I'm not ignoring... sorry, I will rephrase. All of that besides... There's more to you than just some people causing problems, just like there's more to us than invaders into your new home. There's more to everything than just what it seems, and you say that we don't understand what being an outcast is and what you have to do to find a place. Well, I'm a walking example of that. And don't think us so quick to cast aside people that are different and strange. And it's sort of like the air he gives is like before he was like it was like a very very tense combative scenario. But now, like, everything's settled, things have calmed to a peace. You've got a sun-based half-orc, which is a fucking weirdo in itself, with a satyr child swaddled in a very parental sort of situational harness type thing. The hammock, there we go. I keep saying harness for some reason. So just like, it's an odd sight in itself. Almost bringing support to his statement.
Then you are outcasts yourselves.
Well, I mean, he is.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a freak.
Everybody loves.
Then you understand the dangers that outcasts face every day of people who do not understand.
Well, you
One
you're
of
right
the
on that point.
one of
but-
the very tenets of our brethren, these tenets of our Monu. Curb sorrow's seed. They say intervene with compassion, but if the seed blossoms into poison, cutting its stem is mercy to the grove. They would kill us if we were to return to them, if we were to return to the conclaves, to our kin. We have no choice but to seek out our own.
Well,
What makes you poison aside from? And Blitzka just kind of tries not to look around at all the horrible stuff they've done. What makes you like poison in the first place? Why would they try to drive you? Was it something that you did?
It is because people who do not understand fear the unknown. They look at the nightmare and say, and seek to cut it out without fully understanding it first. It gives us purpose. It gives us a place. It gives us power. Power to change our own fate. Power to... And she kind of stops herself for a moment.
Well, look. I'm not gonna pretend to understand any of your backdrop. I don't know a lot about this Theta stuff, so I'm not gonna act like I know. But what I do know is, as an outcast, I was in a place like you once, but look, there's nothing wrong with finding a place of your own, a place to feel safe and happy, but there are better ways about it. There's better people to follow, there's more ways to be happy than to take.
Have you thought about? You say that the nightmare gives this, the nightmare gives that, and everything. Have you thought about possibly giving yourself a sense of purpose, a sense of agency? Why do you try to find the worst possible thing in order to gain, like, to steal power from it? Why not try to find your own little growth? Like, this entire thing. Have you thought about renewing it? Like, instead of trying to focus on the harm that you did to this once beautiful place, why not make up for the damage that you've done and try to revitalize it and make it better than it was before? You are a druid, yes?
She snaps her fingers, and there's this sort of very faint spark of reddish engine in, between them. Not quite. The nightmare flows within me. It is not something learned.
Has it always flowed within you?
When I was born. You see, when I was born, my kin sought to cast me out, leave me to survive for myself in the wilds, in the Ebonwood. But I found a new home.
Let's get kind of frowns. It's like that is Huh. And she just kind of quickly swaps over to demonic. Yeah, I come from the Dominion of Torment. None are cast out. I do not know what it is that you satyrs do. Or she just kind of... There's a brief moment where she tries to look to Etheria, then realizes there's no fucking way I know where Etheria is right now.
Wait, why was the theory where looks up, somehow
looks
a
up.
shadow waves at you?
Like,
Etheria is
okay.
with us somewhere.
I do not know what it is that they do in the sacred groves of the satyrs, but I know that where I come from. She's going to put a hand on the shoulder of this woman. It's like,
She immediately sort of flinches back as you do, but tolerates it.
You
I was gonna
did
say, yeah,
beat the
Liz-
shit out of her.
yeah, it's like, and it's not like Liska just suddenly just snaps her hand forward and grabs her. It's like a very.
Hey, to be fair, you were the
subtle-
one who decked her to knock her out, so she's justifiably hesitant.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Last time you put hands on her, you fucking dropped your hammer and gave her a concussion.
Yeah.
That was the first one. She's still chained up right now.
Oh no, she's been released, so we're just
we
having a
have-
conversation now.
Well, with this caster one, the arrow lady still. Anyway, with this caster lady, this just puts hands like where I come from. It is the deeds that you do that determine who you are.
You should be so lucky. In the conclaves, they tend to be blinded by tradition and ritual, too blinded by their dream, by their tenets. It is not unheard of for outcasts to be flung to the wilds.
Melon's gonna chime in demonic, just for that extra bit of fuckery. Well, back where I'm from, I know what it's like to be an outcast from the offset. And then, because that's too hard for him, he'll switch back to straight down. That's better. Anyway,
Then you should understand our plight.
I understand, but I did different things. I saw the spite and hate that came my way, and instead of lashing out and fighting back and acting in anger, I found a purpose, a craft, a trade, and a life. And when that stopped being possible where I was, I went somewhere where it was possible and found people who accepted that. It's never good for you or anyone else you care about to act out of anger. Because look at where it's ended up. Led by a corpse and an aching head.
Her mouth, her lips thin at that. And she retorts with, "These people of your homeland, you know they will never accept you. No matter how much you try to present yourselves as their allies, their friends, they will always see you as a freak."
I mean, we
She's
don't see
breaking
him
out
as a
the
freak.
numerous.
Oh, certainly you do not, but the people of his homeland that he fled
Who
from.
Oh
cares
yeah,
about-
definitely, but
Hold on,
his...
both of you
Sorry.
shut up.
Sorry.
What is your name?
Vailutra.
Ilutra. And Liska kind of squats down so she's like eye to eye.
High level.
You're not in your homeland. You are not to be beholden to the people who were. You're beholden to yourself now and the people that have yet to come. As I was saying earlier, in Torment, it is based on, like, the person you are is based on the actions you take. Yes, you have taken actions that have hurt others. have been bad, but there is no time like the present to change the path you're taking to move forward. We are offering you a chance to become something more, to prove the people that set this mark, this label against you. As it stands right now, you became exactly what they said you were. But now you can prove all of them wrong and become what you want to be, the path you want to take. You do not have to be the person, the evil that they condemned you to. Be more. Be better.
I
Can I do
keep
something
hearing
to
the
support?
pauses from you, Avon,
Oh.
and I keep going
Yes,
to say
it's
something.
called dramatic.
No,
It's
but
dramatic
I'm doing my best to
emphasis.
judge when you stopped. So I'm sorry.
Like I said, this is why I wish we were in person.
yeah,
Yeah.
damn latency. Just
You
the
would be able to
slightest
see
bit
the
of
body
delay.
language that he's still going.
Exactly.
Can I do something to support Avon/Liska here?
You can. What would you like to do?
I will begin to appear from out of the hiding place. I appear from the shadows. And as Liska is saying these very important things, she'll grab one of her little wooden mess kit bowls and dip it in the water that is here by the tree. Quietly, silently walk up behind them, and as she finishes, wet like her first 3 fingers and wipe them across the forehead of how did she say her name?
Vailutra.
Vailutra. It just appears and just with that bowl of water wipe away the quote unquote mark. Or at least where it would have been as an infant.
There is that immediate recognition of that gesture. Liska, go ahead and make me a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh god!
I'll-
All right, guys.
DC's
The
gonna
other reason
be
I wanted to chime in.
now the
I'm persuasive
DC's
one here.
the DC's going to be pretty low here because both
Good luck.
Etheria and Vellum have chimed in here.
Can I add an additional thing to help with the situation?
What would you like to
I
add?
think you've already helped.
Yeah, I'm
No, but
already
there
rolling
was a
with
backstory
advantage.
relevant thing I wanted to do.
Well,
Sorry.
if it's a backstory relevant thing, I think that's
Yeah.
pretty important.
Go
It
for
is. It is. I mean, a lot of this talk is centered around Vellum's motivations. So if you don't want me to, I don't want to muddy the water. I just thought it'd be a cool extra thing to
No,
have.
please do.
So, with Liska, like Vellum is actually more paying attention to Liska during her moment, her spiel than Vailutra. And at the notions of like proving herself different and not being the one they expect her to be and what her actions are and all that. He chimes in as Etheria is wiping away the mark. I mean, that's why I'm here. What they do doesn't have any sway over me now, but someday I'm gonna go back there and prove them wrong. They can say what they like when that happens. They can agree, disagree, or whatever, but I'm out here living my life the way I want to, in a way that helps people. And someday they're gonna have to see that and bite down all those little traditions they hold so dear. That was it.
All right,
Continue.
Liska, go
Sorry,
ahead
a little
and
giddy.
go ahead and roll me that persuasion check. I'll say DC's gone a bit lower now, considering what Vellum's just added.
All right. Okay, guys, let's do it.
Good luck.
Advantage, yeah. Hey, rolled an 11.
And
Oh,
I would like to add something.
okay.
Flash of genius.
Flash of genius. However,
Sudden tits in the background.
Now, we can't do it.
Why don't you accept these titties?
Can I give Liska my inspiration to reroll that?
Nas, shut up.
If you want.
The DC has
Well-
already been lowered like several times.
If-
If I add a +4 to this, I'm pretty sure we meet it.
What do you want to do?
I would like to do my Flash of Genius in the form of Sao, just sort of slowly approaching and not quite standing next to Vellum and then just looking to the Satyr, and as well in fluent demonic, because
Everybody.
what better way to speak to someone in their tongue? Should I hate this man for being a half-breed? Should you be hated for being marked as evil? No. Many things come from tradition, many ways are set, but the world is not rigid or perfect. Like my brother once told me when he listened to the greater muses and philosophers back home, our garden should be watered with water, never blood. I think it's time we get you some proper water.
It's at that moment that she falls silent. Probably for not an angry silence, not like you've seen her before, but a sort of a contemplative silence followed by a moment of sorrow. And you're perceptive enough for this, Sayun. She looks like she was about to, again, cast a spell, an invisibility spell. You're familiar with this. But instead, her hand falls by her side and you see a slight tear trickle down her cheek instead. It has been years since I last saw my real home. They would never accept me.
They don't have to. They don't have to accept them. The world is
Yeah, fuck 'em.
large. It's full of people, outcasts, countrymen, women, creatures of curiosities. And she sort of looks to Grunka for a moment.
And the yard speaks up about that. Love yourself. That's the one person that sticks around the most. Not everyone else. When you find a family, the true family, looks to Etheria. I don't think you need anything else.
At the
Hey,
end of the day, you gotta do what's right for you. Not try to please other people.
and you just might be wrong. Marina's my sister. I accepted her. No judgment. Sometimes people push you away because it hurts too much to see you hurt yourself. That doesn't mean their hand isn't still outreached to bring you back. They're just waiting for you to finally take it. And she will reach out a hand.
There's that moment of trepidation. She quietly reaches out a hand, pulls it back in thought, almost second-guessing herself. Then slowly reaches out and clasps yours.
We'll help her up to her hoofs.
Where do I go from here? I don't know what to do. I've been so... I've known the nightmare all my life.
Well, like I said when this started, you got a few options. You can try and catch up with her sister and your kin and try and figure something out. Or you could stick around with us for safety until you figure it out. Or maybe something else we haven't thought of. The point is, it'll be your choice, not the whims of some mad person.
It's your time to grow. Not only at your leisure, not at someone's command.
Perhaps Briar is right.
Perhaps she is. Ultimately, it's up to you to decide what is right and wrong, not for someone else to decide for you, including me. You just... It's not an easy life to lead when all you see is the worst. The worst is definitely there, but there's little bits of goodness in there too.
It's always the best.
And if you open yourself
Exactly.
up to it, it'll surprise you. And there's sort of like a little bit of a pointed look at Etheria.
Shrug.
Now, little sister, are you okay to walk? This guy just looks kind of looking down at her like, just like very fully cognizant of the beating she took.
She got like walloped once, I think, didn't she? Oh yeah, no. Vellum like pummeled her in the ribs a bit, and then you bonked her.
Her hand begins to glow with that green healing flame. Do I need to help her out?
I think I have a broken rib.
I think you might need to help her out. I can make some potions later when we get to someplace safe. I am still tired.
Would you like me to carry you, little one?
It seems like you've got your hands full already. And she kind of looks towards you, Vellum, who's carrying Vladimir, and there is a bit of indignance in her voice as well.
Look, I've made this easy. Somebody just, he's like pulls out the ointment. It's like, somebody just, I'd do it, but
Just give it to us.
Just-
It
He's
seems
right
every time
there.
I goop. Seems every time I goop.
I,
say something.
I know what that is. May I have some?
just hand it over.
She takes it over and begins applying it to presumably her broken rib.
Ain't exactly right for me to put my hands on a lady I just met. Say the joking tone.
The jar just stares at Vellum.
Hey, somebody's gonna. Yeah, I'll say this in character even. So, hey, somebody's gonna bring a bit of levity to this.
I appreciate your
Hmm.
candor, she says very coldly.
Lucica just shakes her head, just like, bro, really? Like that's the joke
Why
you're trying to
must
make?
It's
Why
been a
must you
long
be this
day.
way?
Sarah is giving a sort of apologetic look as she just sort of mouths to her like, he is like that a lot.
Look, you find light in the
Oh.
dark places. And sometimes that means a very bad joke.
You're full of hope.
Have you tried a good joke?
Is there anyone else here that has been bound up by you?
Yeah, a few.
Yes.
I
Like
will go
one of
find them.
They are on the way out.
And
Maybe
go ahead.
it should just had while having like 3 books in her hand. It goes up to Syria. You might want to take care of these. Some of these books have interesting titles.
As Snake is doing that, Sao will approach the now slightly more free satyr and hold out her remaining jar of ointment to her. Here. For the others.
Thank you. I will see if I can rouse them and talk some sense into them if they haven't already fled.
Who knows?
Well, we'll be heading out soon, so.
And
Might show
sorry
you.
for as she sort of gestures around to everybody in a way. Sorry to meet you like this.
She looks around. There is still that lingering coldness and resentment to her. But then again, a mixture of tough decisions that she presumably needs to make right now about her life going forward.
Oh, a parting word, if I may.
What?
She sort of points to her head. You'll always remember where you were born. And she sort of holds her hand over her heart. But home is where you feel comfortable. Home can be anywhere.
She lingers on that thought for a moment. Insightful. And she turns and begins to make her way out.
Right, you lot do what you need to. I'm gonna wait in the foyer. And we can probably end there because this went
Yeah.
way longer than I thought it would.
And with that, we will say, for brevity here, that you gather what you can from the remaining chambers. The other satyr that you bound up is gradually roused from slumber, and there is quite an extensive talk between Vailutra and her. One that you're not quite party to, but the other archer doesn't immediately flee or fight back. There is a quiet sorrow, a bit of sobbing, a bit of weeping, before Vailutra and her companion leave together, presumably in search of Briar. And we will come back next session as you return to the caravan, and presumably return to the necropolis, your task for Banzala complete. And we'll leave it there.
Ah, fuck.
Huzzah.
The
Sorry, that
first
went
half
over.
of our task for Banzala.
And I'll stop
Yeah,
recording
that's-
in 3, 2,